Beams sliding in the light of the coast, gleaming in the sky so gold. Maybe we could ride that coast. Move, find another place to go. Drive until the sun gets low. Cruise until the night gets cold. Move before the new gets old. Move before the new gets old. Baby, we could ride that coast.
Pains me to see so many people are willing to learn how to trade stocks, but are simply just unsuccessful at it. It's not that you're a bad trader.
I'm up $953, $879, $1,300!
When people come up to me and they say, Dek, I'm just not a good stock trader, it's a whole bunch of baloney.
Oh my goodness, I just made $30,000. You guys want to see a show today? 20 grand in a day so far.
You know why I make so much money shorting? Because the answers are given to me.
$37,000. We're currently up $23,000, $24,000 right now. Let's go! This is high risk, high reward. Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm going for $100,000 today. $100,000 month coming its way, baby.
You may not know everything, but all of a sudden, it's gonna click.
$30,817 in the market today. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the stock market. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone's excited. I hope everyone's ready to have themselves a day. I hope everyone is fired on up at this time because we are getting ourselves all set, ready to rock and roll. Traders, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are here and we are ready to go. Oh man, it feels good. It's exciting. It's exciting time. I do want to bring up again a little TikTok for us. Traders, it is going to be an absolutely awesome day, an absolutely awesome opportunity for every single trader to be able to make some great gains, for every single trader to be able to make some great profits, and I'm really just looking forward to what this day is going to bring us. I think that's the biggest thing here. I'm looking forward to see what this day is truly going to bring us. How can we trade this market? If you guys are watching right now over on YouTube, if you guys are watching over on Discord, make sure you guys again smash that thumbs on up because we are about to have ourselves an absolutely huge day ahead. Let me just get this going right here. All right, awesome. Traders, man, I am just so pumped to be here with you guys. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to go over, and I want to make sure everyone is bringing that enthusiasm. Something, again, my dad taught me a long time ago is enthusiasm, energy is contagious, right? It's so easy to be able to lift someone on up. It's so easy to be able to bring a little fire to the room. It's so easy to be able to get people excited about something, especially when we work the #1 job in the world. When we sit down and it's us versus the market, we sit on down and we say, okay, it's time to take on the market. You guys, I mean, how could you not be excited on this Thursday? The Federal Reserve just had their meeting. Jerome Powell just spoke. We have tons of volatility in the markets. There's so much opportunity to make cash today. I want to make sure you're coming out green. So let's do a little recap of what we've seen. Let's do a little recap of what we saw yesterday. So, yesterday, the S&P 500. For anyone who joined us, it was an insane day. It was an absolutely wild day, if I may add. The S&P 500, let's go back to like a 3-minute time frame here. We saw the S&P 500 go on this monster spike. It went on this monster move, monster rip, monster run, and then ended up giving everything on back. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why here. So when at 2 o'clock, the Federal Reserve came on out, and they stated that we are not going to be raising interest rates. Okay, we're not raising interest rates. We're not going to be doing anything. We're not cutting interest rates. There's not going to be any change whatsoever. People got excited at first. Why did people get excited? Because Jerome Powell started speaking. Jerome Powell also stated that they were going to start spending out of their balance sheet. They were going to start loosening their balance sheet, which could be a sign that we are getting a little looser in our monetary policy. But a lot of times traders just buy stocks whenever Jerome Powell speaks because he usually says confident things. At the other time, seeing that we are reducing our balance sheet definitely is going to be able to bring in a little bit of hype and bring in a little excitement. But let's remember something. Let's take a step back here, team. Doesn't it seem like 99% of investors want us to be cutting interest rates? Didn't everyone say, oh, I can't wait until we start cutting interest rates? In January, we're cutting interest rates. Okay, we're not cutting interest rates yet. Okay, don't worry about guys that in March, we're going to be cutting interest rates. No, we didn't cut interest rates yet either. And now in May, Jerome Powell literally said, guys, we're not cutting interest rates anytime soon. Maybe again, maybe in September. Maybe in September we're going to cut interest rates. That's what he said. So what happened here? So the S&P 500 at first had no news, no action, no activity, no nothing. Then when Jerome Powell started speaking, we started seeing a pop on up. And then since we're not cutting interest rates, this whole entire spike was built off nothing but fluff. And since this whole entire spike was built off nothing but fluff, we came crashing all the way back on down. So we really had to think through this entire play. Now, something that you guys probably saw over on Twitter or StockTwits or Instagram, it kind of went viral with a couple 100,000 people viewing this, this was my prediction yesterday, if you guys did not see it. My prediction yesterday, I said that we were going to have no rate cuts. We were going to have a little bit of a spike. We were going to fall back on down. JP was going to speak. We were going to spike on up. And then we were going to crash all the way back down to the bottom. So yes, guys, I am pretty proud of this. Yes, guys, it is pretty wild to see. I predicted perfectly at 12 o'clock what the whole entire chart pattern was going to be, what the whole entire chart setup was going to be, what the whole entire chart plan was going to be. So you guys can actually see this. I posted this at a few different areas, but I posted this all the way at 12:05. I'm going to lay out my entire prediction. This does not mean it's a fact, but this is what I believe is going to happen. 2 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to see chop. The FOMC will announce there are no rate cuts. We see an initial spike up, but then a pullback as everything balances itself on out. 2:30 comes, Jerome Powell speaks. Almost every time I see Jerome Powell speak, the market moves on up. He has a written out speech and written out by the FOMC that won't make any drastic changes to scare off traders. I think we see a rise for about 15 to 20 minutes. After this pop, I think the questions lead to the turnaround and we start dropping back down to sub 500. I think every trader knows we have high inflation. Every trader thinks that where we're at right now is very bad in the markets, and all we need is JP to stumble for the sell-off. What do they say? They say sell in May and go away. Let's see how true this is. So basically the idea was spike, drop, big spike, big sell-off, all the way back down to end the day. That was at 2 o'clock. What did we get, guys? We got spike, sell-off, big time spike, big time sell-off, all the way back down to 500 to end off our day. Traders, this was insane. I had people left and right tweeting me, posting me on Instagram. Yeah, Dek, I made $500 doing this. Dek, I made $1,000 here. Dek, I made $2,000 following this. So it's so amazing on how many people are able to make some big profits. Now, if you guys are not here yesterday either, I know, again, I was having some issues with the live stream because of some copyright stuff. This trade, I actually jumped in a little bit early. I jumped in at around the price of 505, and I was looking for the reversal. It went all the way up to 508. Now, I did not get out. There was a point that I was down nearly $5,000, and it was tough. And I'm saying, no, I got to trust it. We're not raising interest rates. There's no reason for this run. And I kept holding and holding and holding. And then guess what? We got this dump. We made back all $5,000, went into the green, made a profit, and saw that sell off. So it was a very wild trade yesterday. Not anything that, I want to ever do to be down $5,000. But the fact is we stuck with it. We made all of our money back, then went into the green and made a nice profit on the day. So yesterday was insane. Yesterday was absolutely amazing, and to be able to see so many traders just absolutely bank and absolutely crush it, I was just so proud about all of that. So traders, let's see what is coming on up here next. Let's see where this momentum is. Let's see what we can do on this day today, because we can't live in the past. The past is the past. We got to live in this present moment. We got to live in right now. So let's start getting some ideas about what is going to happen right now at this moment. So the S&P 500, we know the saying, sell in May and go away. Now, is that going to hold true to right now at this second? When we take a look over on over on this chart, this is one of my favorite charts to look at. It's a very fun, very popular chart that always gets me a lot of great information. And this is going to give us some of the best and worst days of the year on average. So if you guys notice, and I've talked about this before, October, November, December is usually the greenest months of the year. We come down to the end of the year, people are usually buying, we see these winter rallies, we see a lot of hype, we see a lot of momentum. But what you guys can also notice is May. Usually, again, as we head into May, we usually see nice sell-offs. We usually see nice drops. We usually see nice cracks right here. So May, June, and early September are usually the worst times for pullbacks. October, November, December are usually the best times for spikes. So that definitely influences my decision on what I'm thinking, on what I'm looking at, on what could possibly happen today, tomorrow, next week. So let's just get a little recap right now. S&P 500. How do I want to trade this play? We know we had monster spike yesterday, big pullback, and now again we have a little bit of a gap up at this time. If I take a look over on this chart, where do we have trouble? If I'm taking a look at this chart, I do see that we do have trouble at bounce play here, sell off right here. You guys can see monster spike, gave it all on back. You guys can see top resistance, top resistance. Where does it look like most top resistance is at this time? I think everyone can give us that answer. We have bounce play. That's at the price of 504.50. Okay, bounce play. Sell off after we fell underneath 504.50. We also spiked on up to 504.50, had a little bit of a pullback, then broke out through that. Then you can also see we came crashing all the way back on down. We hit 504.50, fell back on down. Came on up to 504.80, fell back on down. I would say anywhere near 504.50 is going to be a good put contract area because that is where we could see this in the past. Let's actually scroll back a little bit more. Let's see if this is a good area maybe in the past before. Well, here's an old top right at 504.50. Let's keep scrolling on back. Here's a bounce play at 504.50. Okay, pretty interesting. And here's more bouncing right at 504.50. Okay, so guys, am I making up this number or do we have facts? Okay, here's a nice spiking high at the price of 504.20. Here's a spiking high at 504.20. Here's a spiking high at 504.50, 504.50. So can we all agree that it seems like 504.50 is kind of like the number? It kind of seems like that's the number most traders are focused on. That's the number that most traders are looking at. When I'm taking a look over on the S&P 500, I'm definitely looking at that 504.50 area. So let's make sure that we are clearly on top of this. Okay? So SPY, high watch, high alert going forward. What else do we want to be on top of here, team? Well, traders, the S&P 500, what I'm probably going to be looking for is put contracts near around 504.50 and start getting a nice little drop back on down. Is there anything big going on today? Well, after having our Federal Reserve meeting yesterday, there probably is just going to be a lot of volatility. I think there's going to be a lot of movement, especially at the start of this day, that we definitely want to try to take advantage of. Okay. Now going into tonight, if anyone is interested, we do have earnings on Apple tonight. So Apple, guys, earnings. A lot of people say, Dek, what's going to happen? Unfortunately, I can't give you that answer. I don't know exactly what's going to happen on Apple. I don't know exactly what's going to happen on this move. I can always do my research and try to give you the best answer possible. But at the end of the day, sometimes it is just a gamble. Just like we saw in Tesla last week. Tesla did all this research, figured out they're going to come out with awful earnings, came out with the worst earnings in 12 years. Stock went on a spike. So sometimes it is just a gamble. Now, what I will say is it's very rare / never I go against Apple. Apple is kind of like, you know, the poster boy. It's the golden child of the stock market. When you're talking about what is the most consistent, best company out there, it's Apple. Apple is one of the best companies in the world. So the thing is, team, I usually don't ever look for puts on Apple. Apple, I usually don't even trade it just because it's too slow. But, you know, I usually never look for puts on Apple just because every single person has an Apple iPhone and lots of people have iMacs. Apple is so big, so huge. It's very hard for me to go against Apple. Maybe, again, if you're saying, oh, well, that they kind of flopped on, you know, those goggles, whatever they're called again, you know, those Apple, whatever they're called, I forget. You know, not really people, you know, no one kind of wears those. You know, hey, who knows? That could just be maybe a setup for something big. But I really don't ever like to go against Apple in any sort of way. Dek, is there anything else that we want to be focused on here today? Well, there were a couple big, you know, earnings last night as well, such as Carvana. Carvana, guys, this play went from $80, spiked all the way up towards $119. Carvana, if you guys did not see this, it actually came out with its best earnings ever in company history. So it actually went all the way from $87 and spiked all the way up towards $120 as it came out with its best earnings ever. Now, what's very good? You guys can look to trade Carvana at the very start of the day as well. Now, why would you guys want to be trading Carvana? Well, at the very start of the day, you are going to have many people take profits. So again, contracts are going to be available. You're also going to have a lot of people who, again, lost last night, who are now going to get out at 9:30. So what we call this is, we call this implied volatility dump. So basically what we have is all of these people holding contracts, and now everyone who held last night is going to take profits. Anyone who lost last night is going to get out and take their loss. And basically there's going to be an influx of contracts that are available to grab at very cheap prices. So the thing is, You guys can always be aware of that, when you're taking a look over on Carvana or any sort of big earnings or big drop on earnings, that usually the next day you can get a lot of these contracts are very cheap because a lot of people are selling them and there's going to be a huge supply of these contracts that you guys can be able to get involved in. So Carvana, definitely something we want to be on top of. Now, I want to go to something that I'm a little bit more, fond of, and that's going to be ALLR. A lot of traders saying, Dek, ALLR, let's get ready to short it. Well, the thing is, as you guys know, shorting starts in about a week and a half. Tonight, I'm going to be giving a lot of details on the shorting strategies. I'm going to be giving a lot of details on our upcoming short season. I'm going to just call it shorting season, as you guys know. And we're getting ready to rock here. So the thing is, when we're taking a look over on these plays, we have ALLR going on a very nice spike, very nice run. Why in the world is ALLR going on this move here? So ALLR. This play going on this climb, we could see, boom, let's go right here. It shows clear clinical benefit and achieves significant milestone with early conclusion of phase 2 trials in advanced ovarian cancer. So basically, team, remember, you don't need to know anything about this. All you guys have to know is your keywords. Your keywords such as phase 2, your keywords as in cancer, keywords as in achieves. Really, if we wanted to read this and get rid of all the fluff, we have achieved significant phase 2 with ovarian cancer. If we're having significant achievements in our trials and on cancer, it's going to bring in a lot of hype. So this is a play that went on a great spike for a great reason. Imagine a biopharmaceutical company that only costs $1 that says, hey, we are on track to be able to cure cancer. That's going to get a lot of hype. That's going to get a lot of excitement. So, ALLR, this is a play right here that I don't even know. Are there any shares available to short? Lightspeed does not have any shares available to short whatsoever. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll on that. Also, what we have here is we have a great spike. We have a nice pullback. So Dek, what would be like an area to buy in on this play? What I would say is put a trend line on this. Make sure you can break this downtrend. I feel like most traders are following this downtrend. Most traders are saying, hey, this is the downtrend we're looking at. Let's see if we can squeeze and spike and break above this. So we do have top resistance, fade on down, top resistance, fade on down, top resistance, fade on down, top resistance. And let's see if we can break and pop above this area. Let's see if we can be able to get this move. Let's see if we can get this rip and this climb and spike. So I want to make sure ALLR, we have a lot of this hype and a lot of this attention towards this play. Okay? So let's see if that one's going to be able to get some momentum behind it. But that is going to be the top dog right here. ALLR, everyone's focusing on it. And then Carvana did have its best earnings of its life. Its best earnings in company history. Dek, what are you going to be looking for? I'm probably going to be trading options today over on SPX, which is the crazy version of SPY. We can clearly see not only from past chart history, but also just from pre-market, we do have a lot of resistance as we get closer towards that 504.50 mark. I think the best thing to do is do some DCAing, dollar cost average. When you get up towards around the price of 504, get in on something small. When you get up to the price of 504.20, add a little bit more. When you come on up towards 504.50, add a little bit more. When you get up towards 504.60, 504.80, you can add a little bit more. So basically what we'd want to be looking for is we're looking to get in on the best overall trade here. Maybe it only goes up to 504 and falls on down. That's fine. Maybe it goes up towards 504.50. We got filled here, here, and here. Then it falls on down. Great. If it goes all the way up towards 505, get filled here, 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 here. You have the best average. You'll probably be filled right around 504.50. So I am looking for that quick morning spike and then to see if we can get filled on put contracts back on down. We all know the saying, sell in May, go away. We all can still see it as well though. Let me just grab some of these lines. We do have a nice uptrend at this time. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play over on the daily chart. This daily chart area, 501 is our main support line. Top resistance, 13 EMA, 505.30. So 505.30 is the 13 EMA, which has been the area that we usually bounce at, bounce at, bounce at, bounce out, bounce out, and then you could see the reversal from right here. So 505.30 would be the best area to be able to get filled at, but I don't know if we're going to get up that high. 13 EMA, you guys see whenever we're above it, we're considered bullish. Whenever we're underneath it, we're considered bearish. We have room to fall today, back on down towards 550, crack of 550, and there's no floor. Crack underneath 550, and we could really get ugly. So it comes on down to, let's get prepared for this day. Let's see what's going to be coming on up, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Once again, guys, if you guys are watching over on YouTube today, it is again free chat Thursday, so I will be again live streaming throughout this entire day. If you guys are watching over on TikTok today, we will be live throughout this entire day, but all I ask is something so simple of you guys. And all that is again, click that follow button, click that like button, double tap the screen, show some engagement. Go ahead and give me a good old Dekmar trades over in the comments, because I just love you guys and I want everyone to get absolutely fired up on this day. Want to make sure everyone's all ready to rock and roll here. So it's going to be an absolute, blast here, traders. I want everyone to be able to bank, make some money, and get after it here. So, man, oh man, oh man. And I know so many people, of course, are excited going forward. Traders, we are going to be doing something that is, I am just so excited about and so pumped up about. Starting on up tonight, I'm going to be dropping some details. And what is that? We are going back to what has made me the most amount of money in the stock market ever. Options is not what has made me the most amount of money in the stock market ever. Long-term investments is not what has made me the most amount of money in the stock market ever. Swing trading is not what has made me the most money in the stock market. What has made me the most money is shorting. And you want to have a serious conversation with yourself right now. That serious conversation is taking a look at your P&L and asking yourself, am I truly profitable with the strategy that I'm using right now? Ask yourself that question. Look at over the last month. Look at the last 5 months, last 6 months, and say, have you been making enough money to quit your job? Have you been making enough money to be successful at this? Have you been making enough money to be able to make 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever it may be, to keep on expanding? If you're saying, Dek, I win a little and lose a little. Dek, I actually keep losing. I'm slowly bleeding out my account. Well, guys, be an open book here. Be willing to take the next 30 days. When I teach you guys and I start this, be willing to take 30 days to just say, hey, you know what? Let me learn what Dek's about to bring here. Let me again learn this shorting strategy. Let me see what this is all about. Obviously, what you're doing right now isn't working. Obviously, what you're doing right now isn't getting to where you want to be. So all I ask is drop again any sort of, oh, I want to do this. I want to learn this. I want to do this. Just drop all that. Just be here, ready to learn, ready to be able to become a better trader, ready to take a step on it, ready to say, okay, hey, I want to be able to learn what this is all about here. Right? So very, very excited about this and to teach you guys how I've been able to make the majority of the money in the markets. So very big, very important. I want to see what's going to be coming on up here next. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Guys, also, little side note as well. I mean, I feel like this is always like a little far cry on out. I don't even want to bring it on up, but I will. Again, I saw someone last night over on social media saying, Dek, are you paper trading? Are you paper trading, Dek? Is this real money? Guys, every single day, I live stream my real account. Every single day, I show you my P&L. Every single day, I do everything live over the stream, not hiding or not showing wins or not showing losses. I show it all. On top of that, if you guys need me to, I will also get Lightspeed to verify all of my trades. I have no problem doing that. I've done that before. I'll just tweet them out in public and say, hey, Lightspeed, can you verify this trade that it's real money? And they will say, yes, it is real money, or no, it's not real money. And of course, they always say, yes, it is real money. I've been doing this for way too long, 10 years now. Of just every single day, live streaming it all, showing a P&L, showing broker statements, doing everything, live logins, having again Lightspeed again, I'd be able to verify every single trade I make. I'm here being again legit, transparent, showing it all, baby. So that's what it's all about. I want to do something that again, barely anyone ever does. That's showing everything right here. So let's get ready to rock. Boom, boom, boom. Traders, so 927 in the market. Let's get all set, ready to go here. So we're getting pumped on up. I'm a little nervous to play music right now, team, because over the last 7 days, I haven't been able to go on my main YouTube account. I'm on my main YouTube account right now, but I haven't been able to do it because they strike me with a copyright thing. So I don't want to play any sort of music that I'm not supposed to play. So, when in doubt, I'll have Claire. Claire, do you want to sing? You just want to sing songs in the background the entire time if you want to? Maybe again, I'll hit up one of my buddies. A fun little fact, I went to high school with Chris Stapleton, and every now and then he likes to come over, play me a few songs for my fiance and sell, maybe have a little whiskey and just, enjoy a nice summer night. So maybe I'll get him over here and we'll have some fun. But right now, let's get ourselves prepared. That's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead, get ourselves ready to rock and roll. See what we have coming on up here next. Guys, S&P 500. Let's see if we get that pop. S&P 500, let's see if we get that rip. We know, again, we have a lot of resistance at 504.50 with top resistance at 505.30. What do you guys think is the best play? pull the trigger right away, right around that 504.30 mark? Or do we say to ourselves, hey, Deck, it's going to go up to 505.20, that 13 or 505.30 mark, excuse me, that 13 EMA? So right now, team, I'm very excited. Market opens up here in about 1 minute. So let's get ready to rock. Switch on over. SPX, same day contract. I'm with it. Put contracts, ready to go right here. We're going to be gapping on up most likely towards around 5,050. We could do, again, contracts probably back on down towards 5,040, slightly outside of the money. We do have a little bit of a spike right off the rip here. Up towards, again, 505.15. Definitely leaning a little bit more towards the put side. Want to see if we are going to get, a dollar rip. We are opening on up right next to this 505.50 mark, a 504.50 mark, which we said is going to be some strong resistance. Market opens up here, team, in about 20 seconds. It is game time, and we are all set, ready to get after it and make some money. Nothing that I'm filled on, nothing that I'm in on at this moment with my positions. You can see 0 out of 0, but we are getting ourselves prepared and getting ourselves ready to rock and roll on this day. Traders, market opens up here, team, in 5 seconds. Let's get ready to rock. Some people will be doing put contracts right off the rip here because we do know that 504.50 mark is going to be some strong resistance. Guys, we are now live, opening up at 5,057 over on those over on SPY and SPX. So we do have a quick little spike right off the rip. If anyone wants to get filled, high of the day is that 504.68 mark. A lot of strong resistance, as we talked about, right off the start here. Strong resistance right off that 504.50-ish area. Just make sure that you guys are fully aware of that mark, that we do have a lot of strong resistance there. I am watching SPX, which is like the crazy version of the SPY, as you guys know. I want to see if we're going to be able to hold up our gains. I want to see if we're going to be able to spike on up through that 504.50 mark. You guys can also see on the daily chart. Where's the daily chart right here? 13 EMA is what price? 505.10. So 505.10 is the new 13 EMA. That's the green line. Notice how the green line usually bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces and bounces. You can see there's rejection, there's resistance right here. So whenever you're above it, it's bullish. Whenever you're underneath it, it's considered bearish. So above it, bullish; underneath it, bearish. Right now, we're still watching SPX. We're still watching these plays to see, how well this market's going to be able to hold on up. Are we going to be able to hold above that 504 mark? See what that next move is going to be coming on up on this next rip and run here. So right now, a little bit of a drop. 13 EMA trying to hold itself on up. Little bit of a fade at this time. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. Guys, we did pop on up towards that 504.50 mark, though, and starting to get a little bit of that rejection. Right now, SPX, though, still not getting any sort of crazy movement. No orders for myself just yet. If you guys did get filled at that 504.50, you guys have been doing fantastic so far. So if you guys have been getting filled at 504.50, you guys are doing fantastic at this moment. If you guys do see anything else that's spiking very big, getting any sort of big action, any sort of big hype, please feel free to throw it on out there. We'd love to, always be going over all trades. Right now, traders, we are still getting a little bit of that weakness. Looking for, again, some of these best plays. And shout out to everyone who's joining us over on this day. Shout out to everyone who's part of this amazing community. Right now, SPX isn't really following SPY too closely. SPX on the bottom right-hand corner, I know on TikTok you guys can't see it, but on the bottom right-hand corner, it's actually, again, SPX is still sitting right next to its highs. So that's kind of like a little bit of a fearful thing that SPX is actually still holding its gains very, very well. ALLR also breaking this downtrend. Guys, ALLR, room to run to $5. $5 is also the 50-day moving average. So right here, team, ALLR still trying to squeeze itself on up. And ALLR does have this downtrend. Remember, this did have a great credible press release. Deck, would you short this play if you were getting involved in shorts right now? I personally would not short ALLR. As I talked about before, it does have a good credible press release. It talks about achievements on significant milestones or an early conclusion of phase 2 trials. Now, guys, that's bringing in a lot of credibility. A lot of times we see penny stocks spike and rip and run because some guy over on Twitter who has a lot of followers says everyone go buy a play. That's different than going after a play that actually has good, significant news. So the thing is, I'm not the biggest fan of looking for this for a short over on ALLR. I actually think there's a better chance that ALR actually squeezes and runs up to $4 plus if you guys are interested on that play. So, be careful over on ALLR. How's Carvana doing today? Remember, CVNA, that stock came out with actually the best earnings of its entire company's history. So best earnings of the entire company history, best earnings that we have ever seen. And that's really, again, following the S&P 500 pretty closely, it looks like. Very similar patterns at this moment. As I'm speaking about ALLR, guys, it's starting to squeeze. Remember, we have to know when to, it's almost like poker a little bit. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. Same exact thing with ALR. We have to know when to short and know when to buy. And the thing is, team, a lot of times whenever we have great solid press releases, I don't like going against the grain on those. Remember, I talk about shorting a lot and how to make tons of money shorting. You want to short stocks that are up off of fluff, off of manipulation, off of social media, off of and getting too high that's too good for the news. Same exact way that I predicted the S&P 500 yesterday. So many people ask me, Dek, how in the world did you predict that the S&P 500 was going to spike and give it all back? Because it was going to be a lot of fluff. Jerome Powell spoke, but he wasn't going to speak about good things. He spoke, people came on and started buying, but he wasn't speaking about anything positive. So once again, that actually settled in. We had a sell-off and a monster drop all the way back on down. So that's kind of what it comes on down to sometimes. Understanding, how these stocks can move, understanding how these stocks can climb and rip and run and actually get, good momentum for us. Right now, the S&P 500 is finally starting to get a little bit of a drop, and SPX is actually finally starting to get a little bit of a drop now. So SPX actually hasn't, been getting a ton of moves, which is usually the crazy version of the S&P 500. So guys, take a look. SPY starting to turn back on down. If you're saying, Dek, how low can the S&P 500 go? It can go as low as the purple line. 534 would be, again, a bottom area of where this could drop on down towards. So the S&P 500, we did come up towards the 13 EMA, had some trouble right around the 13 EMA, then started fading back on down. So that's just a little heads up for you guys at this moment, taking a look over on the SPY, or if you guys are looking over on SPX. Something else that you guys can be aware of, go to Google, type in economic calendar, right? When you guys take a look over on the economic calendar here, you can say, okay, what is happening? We can take a look over on Thursday. Any news? Factory orders on Thursday. So at 10 o'clock today, which is in the matter of 25 minutes, we will be having some sort of news, and that's going to be factory orders at 10 a.m. Guys, take a look. S&P 500 starting to reject really well. S&P 500, Dek, where did this turn at? This turned up at 504.60, traders. What did I say was probably going to be the rejection area? The rejection area, I thought it was going to be 504.50. So again, I was off by 10 cents right here. So you guys can see top resistance, and it's very simple. All you guys have to do is just go across the board, right? You guys can see top resistance right here, 504.50. Top resistance right here, 504.50. Right? You can see even top right here, 504.50. Keep scrolling on back, right? You can go into a larger time frame so it gets a little bit quicker. 504.50, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. Top resistance, 504.50. Bounce play at 504.50, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. You can see across the board that we have a lot of trouble right around 504.50. Look at the sell-off that's happening right now, team. Look at the drop that's happening right now. Basically, we hit 504.50. Everyone's running for their lives. Everyone's saying, hey, 504.50, get the heck out of here. Dek, where would there be a bounce play on the stock? Bounce play is going to be at the old low of over on Tuesday. Tuesday, 502.10. So 502.10, 502.16. That's kind of the next area for a possible dip buy and bounce play. Personally, I am more on the put side that I like puts better. Basically, what I like to a lot of times look for is go with the momentum. Sell in May and go away. That's why we're getting ready for shorts in May. That's why we're getting ready to be, shorters in May, especially after earnings reports start ending. Sell in May and go away. So right now, team, S&P 500 already getting a little bit of this weakness coming, just floating with the 500 region. Just floating with the 500 region here. So right now we are still watching this S&P 500, looking for this next possible move. Watch her again, little bounces back on up towards, again, 503 or so. A lot of great hype in this market, a lot of great action, a lot of great activity. ACB right now, what do we have? ACB, quick little spike, quick little drop right back on down. NVDA trying to get a little bit of squeeze. NVDA's earnings isn't until when, guys? NVDA, we still have a long way to go until their earnings report. NVDA still has until May 22nd. We're actually still 20 days away until we even get to NVDA's earnings. Pretty far, right? So NVDA, this play, you guys can see bounce play. We do have, again, that 50-day moving average. You guys can see bounce play, 50-day moving average, bounce play, 50-day moving average. You guys can see, again, the 50-day moving average coming on up, 863. Just a little heads on up. You guys probably will get some sort of rejection in the 860s. Why do I say that? Well, if NVDA bounces here, bounces here, bounces here, bounces off the blue line 1, 2, 3, 4 times, bounces off the blue line, bounces, and then sells off underneath the blue line, rejected at the blue line, broke through the blue line, bounces off the blue line, bounces off the blue line, sells off, we're going to have a lot of trouble most likely as you come on up on NVDA up towards around like 863-ish or so. So just a little heads on up for all traders. As again, you go on this nice spike, 863, 864, probably going to have a little bit of issues. Take a look over on SMCI. SMCI, again, this one still holding on up the best it possibly can. We're going to see if SMCI, this play has just been on a big downtrend on this play, staying underneath that 13 EMA, came out with bad earnings 2 nights ago. Right now, traders, we are still, again, waiting over on these plays. If you guys aren't on puts right now, puts are the way to go. Puts are currently winning. NVDA, if you guys want to do puts over on this play, you can do puts at around 863 area. So 863, best time, best place to be able to get involved over on some puts to be able to make some cash. What option would you suggest on SPY for May 2nd? For May 2nd, or AKA today? If you want to do SPY today, and you're saying what's a good opportunity to be able to, get down towards, I think we're gonna bounce at around 502.16 or 502.10, but the ultimate target would be get all the way down to 500 today. So put a strike price maybe right around like 501.50, right? 501 something. That would put yourself about $1 out of the money and get cheap contracts for a lot of opportunity to be able to keep fading, falling, dropping. So right now, puts are in full control. Puts are still winning this play. We have a $2 drop so far, and I think we will get our first kind of main bounce around in the next probably 30 cents. 502.16, 502.10, kind of like that region. That's kind of what I'm thinking for kind of bounce play opportunities, coming on up here next. So the S&P 500 still has some weakness, still has some room to fall. We know, again, a lot of traders are all about, saying, hey, go with the momentum. Put contracts obviously have that momentum right now. Right now, we are still watching, looking for this next move. SPX still trying to climb on up. We do have NVDA as well. NVDA, 863, 50-day moving average. That's going to be tough to be able to break through. Also, a little heads on up, little sign up right here. What does this say? It says, Florida real estate struggles as motivated sellers flood the market. According to the latest Redfin data, the number of homes for sale has surged after home builders rush to accommodate newcomers. There are more than 5,600 active listings in Florida that include the keyword motivated in the description. So a little heads on up. I know everyone's been moving to Florida. Could there be a possibility that they actually built too many houses? What's the big issue with owning a home in Florida right now, guys? What's the big problem that everyone's talking about? Isn't it like water insurance or hurricane insurance that it's like, not only do you have to pay your mortgage, not only do you have to pay whatever taxes, whatever you have to pay this, but now you also have to pay like a huge amount for like water damage insurance or hurricane insurance or something along those lines. And that's making a lot of people say, oh, this is being crazy. This is being like unlivable, right? You have to have so much money right now to be able to actually buy and be able to afford the home just because you have so many bills to pay right now. Yeah, so it's double the rates on insurance. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. I mean, right now, again, I don't own anything over in Florida, but if I was just gonna go down for a winter or go down for a few months, I'm definitely just Airbnb on out. KRS1 saying clearly they need to join Tradecaster if they're struggling with bills so they can stress less. Hey, KRS1, I like it. I like where your head's at. I like what you're thinking on this day. Whew. Right now, NVDA still trying to hold on up. S&P 500 also still trying to get a little bit of a move. SPX trying to get a little bit of a move right now. Chris Wall says the biggest problem with houses in Florida right now is all the Yankees moving here. All the Yankees moving here? What is this, 1868? My biggest problem is all the damn Yankees from the north coming on down to my Florida land. We got some issues in this chat room here over on YouTube. Sheesh. Hey, You guys want to come up north every now and then, I welcome you with open arms. I come down south for a little bit. I hope you welcome me with some open arms. I head on over to the west for a little bit. Hey, let's have a little bit of love sessions going. S&P 500. We're getting a little bit of this drop back on down. I still think, again, the best overall opportunity is all the way back on down towards like 502.10. That's the next, floorboard I see before I bounce play back on up. A lot of people. Samantha saying, I'm from Florida, moved up to New York City. There you go. Went from south to north. People go north to south. I absolutely love the Northeast. Northeast, where I live, takes me 45 minutes to get to New York City. Takes me about an hour to get to Philadelphia. Takes me about an hour and a half to get to the beach. Takes me about an hour to get to Atlantic City. And then I live just in the middle of the country, with an acre and a half of land with farm land behind me. It's like the perfect setup. The only time that's a little tough is going to be January, February, March. Those 3 months where it's dark, where it's cold, where everything's dead. That's the time that, okay, I understand. It's a little bit, it's not that much fun up here. But now, 70 degrees every single day. Leaves are blooming. Flowers are everywhere. Nature's all good. Walk outside. Want to have a little time to yourself, you're good. Want to drive on over to the city, you're good. Want to go to the beach, you're good. Want to go to a different city, you're set. Doesn't get any better than this. CVNA right now, Marty. What do we have? 116% of the float is held by institutions. How is that possible? Info from Yahoo Finance. I'm not sure. How can, again, 116% of the float be held by institutions? That might be some sort of error, but Marty, thank you for the heads up on that. I know, again, CVNA, best earnings that they have had. CVNA. Still, again, we haven't seen any true directions. We've seen the S&P 500 get a nice little fade so far, getting a little bit of a bear flag set up. Little bear flag over on CVNA right now, team. You guys can see we're still building lower highs. It's trying to hold up its bottom support. No entry for myself just yet. We did have the nice sell-off at the start of the day. That's been very solid. So we've had a nice sell-off at the start of the day. That's been very solid. We might get a little bit of a spike, though, back on up towards around that 503.50 mark. If we do start cracking underneath, I'm going to say 502.40. That's where we're going to drop all the way down to like 502.10. That's where we can get a big weakness. Nope, no trade for myself just yet. Everything is still, again, position 0 out of 0. I have not pulled the trigger just yet at this moment. Right now, S&P 500 team. S&P 500 watching for bounce, little bit of a crack. Guys, there's that little bit of a dump. Again, 502.16, 502.10 should be a nice little dip buy opportunity, and then be able to see this, start moving itself back up towards around that 503 area. It is all puts right now, though. All puts on this play. We came on down to 502.17 so far as the low of the day. Let's see if we keep getting weaker. Let's see if we keep on dropping here. There's a little bit of that flag, and you can see it clearly. Again, this is so beautiful. We already discussed why 504.50 led to the sell-off. We showed you all of the past resistance. Now what we can see at this moment, guys, is we do have a bear flag pattern, where let's put this into purple at this moment, and you guys can see exactly why we're cracking, because we do have a downtrend, and then we have a consolidation with lower highs. Consolidation, lower highs, here's the sell-off. Consolidation, lower highs, here's the flag pattern, starting to show even more weakness. So, starting to fade even more here. Starting to drop now, guys. So, we're still going lower and lower and lower. Deck, can we continue to fall? Absolutely. Deck, how low can we go on down to? Remember, the ultimate target on today would be go all the way down towards this bottom trend. We bounced off this trend once at 495. We bounced off this trend again at 497. We bounced off this trend at 499, or right around 500. This could easily fall back on down towards around 501 today before we get any sort of nice bounce. It could easily go on down towards 580 before we get any any sort of nice bounce. So if we take a look over on this play here, there is still a lot of room to be able to continuously fall. I have not entered anything yet today. You are either doing puts all the way on down towards, at this point, it looks like that trend line, or you're waiting for calls until you get to that trend line. So we have had so far a very nice drop. We are basically giving back a huge amount of what it has gapped up so far. You take a look over on this play, 15-minute time frame. We closed off the day at around the price of 520. Then we gapped up this morning all the way up to 505. Now we're starting to give a whole lot back. So, Dek, where is going to be a lot of the support? Support back on down towards around the low 501s. Dek, you're going to get ready for a possible dip buy? I will. I'm going to look for a possible dip buy probably at the 501.40 mark. So I'm going to go SPX, switch over to call contracts. Call contracts, be able to get filled on this play. Strike price, 5,040. I actually kind of like that strike price right now, right around that 5,040 mark. Switch on over towards 3 contracts. Go over to market orders. Be all set, ready to go. If I start seeing 501.40, definitely start, getting ready for a possible pulling the trigger. So I'm looking for, again, bounce play areas, bounce play opportunities. We have now fallen from, again, 505 all the way on down towards, again, 501.70. Nice big drop, nice big fade throughout this entire morning here. So let's see if we can keep getting weaker. Let's see if we can keep dropping. Let's see how much lower this thing can go. Switch back over to a 2-minute time frame. Actually, I want to switch back over to, let's go here to about a 5-minute time frame so I can see yesterday. I want to see yesterday's old highs. Right around 501.10. 501.10 was yesterday's old highs. Or, some of these areas of resistance. I think we might bounce a little bit above that, though. What we get on down to so far? 501.66 so far. Still getting weak. Still dropping here, team. Still getting weak, still dropping. Puts have been in control this entire way. We're getting closer to yesterday's close. We're getting closer to yesterday's old resistance. We're getting closer towards the downtrend that should be holding up, or the uptrend that's holding up as support. I'm looking for, I'm not looking for call contracts when we're, up at highs. I'm looking for call contracts down low. Really, again, that's where I've always had the best success in my life. The best success with, again, trading has always been from, Dek, when do you do calls? I will tell you right now, guys, I have lost more times than I can count when I look to buy calls at the high of the day looking for a breakout. And I have lost more times than I can count when I look to do puts at the low of the day saying, ooh, let me do puts right here at the low, and then it bounces itself back on up. I've always, again, found it much easier to say, okay, if a stock is going on a very big spike, very big rip and run, let's enter for puts, and at some point we should see that reversal and start dropping back on down. And I've always had a lot more success if I see a stock falling and fading and I say, hey, you know what? Let's look for, again, a bounce play and start moving its way back on up, and I can get filled, right around here. So you can see right now, traders, we're actually getting a little bit of a bounce already. That 501.60 mark back on up towards around that 502 area. So right here at this moment, right now, still watching this play here, traders. Nope, no small account challenge right now. Not doing anything like that. Just kind of trading normal at this moment. More getting prepared and getting ready for our shorting, guys. Shorting is what I want, every single trader be prepared on for, life-changing money. I want to change your life coming on up, in this next 2 weeks for shorting. That's what I honestly do. I want to make you guys as much money as you guys want to make. I want you guys to basically say, wow, I didn't even know this was possible. So the thing is, in the next 2 weeks, when I teach you guys everything there is to know about shorting, I want you guys to be amazed. I want you guys to be fired up. I want that fire inside of you to be bursting, saying, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow. I can't wait to be trading tomorrow. I can't wait to be able to get after this. So there's so many good things. And I don't want to, again, people say, oh, well, I want to learn this. Just be an open book for 30 days. Taking all the information I tell you. Taking all of it, try it, test it, paper trade it, do it on small money, then go to big money. But I want to show you what has made me the most amount of money in my trading career. I want to show you what has put me on the map. What has got me a following. What has got me to where I'm at. Why people follow me is because, again, what I've been able to accomplish through shorting. Not through options, through shorting. Right now, team, we're going to keep on keeping on here. Keep on watching. A little heads on up. If we come back on down towards the low of the day, I actually think we're going lower than we think. I think we're actually going lower than we think, guys. Don't get filled at 501.40. If we crack on down, we just had an upper shadow. It should actually dump down even lower than what we think. We might go all the way down to sub 501s here soon. If you guys are on puts, let me ask you guys right now, is there anyone just holding the puts right now? Is there anyone saying, Dek, I'm still in on puts. I've been holding puts since the alert you gave at 504.50. Woo! Going to the Ferrari dealership later on today, Decky. Is there anyone right now that's still just sitting on put contracts, riding some puts from 504.50, from 504, 503, 502? You know, you guys are absolutely fine. The Browns asking, in shorting, is that where you can lose more than you put in? So the thing is, I'm happy to talk about that as we wait for, again, the S&P 500 to turn on down. The answer is no, not anymore. Yes, there was a time back in like the earlier 2000s that if you did a short, okay? If you, let's say, do this, okay? Let's do this. You have $1,000 and you buy a stock that is $1 and it goes to zero. Boop. You lose $1,000. Now the fear is, Dek, what if I short a stock that is $1 and it goes up to $2? Now again, I lose $1,000. But what if it keeps going higher and it goes up towards $3 or $4 or $5? Now I lose again $5,000, $6,000, and now I'm obligated to pay that. Well, guys, guess what happened? This happened to a lot of people, so what do brokers do now? Once you lose more than 80% of your account on a trade, your broker just takes you out of it. So you don't got to worry about that anymore. You don't got to be fearful of that stuff, and double check with your broker, of course. But my broker is if I lose more than 80% of my account on a trade, they don't want to take that risk of you not paying. So guess what they do? They just get you out of the trade. They just take you out themselves. On the back end, they say, hey, this guy's losing so much money, we're going to take him out. So you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes people say, oh, shorting is, again, it's scary. You know, I can lose a lot of money. You can lose just as much going long. You can, guess what? If you don't want to lose all your account, it's very simple, guys. You guys want to know what to do? Dek, I buy in at $1. I'm looking for, again, this stock to drop all the way on down. How can I not lose my entire account? Set a stop loss. Boom. Okay, set a stop loss, $250. There you go. The most you can lose. Right? It's very simple. Set a stop loss. You'll never lose more than what you want. So I will be teaching, guys. I'll be teaching all my, again, shorting over on Tradecaster. Make sure that you guys are all set, ready to go. As always, you know, I'm live on Tradecaster every single day, baby. Every single day. So let's get ready to rock and roll coming on up. Tradecaster.com, the #1 trading site in the world. No one does it better. No one. No one even does it close to better. It's not even a competition. It's not even close. I don't know anyone on this level. I'm gonna throw a little chill music behind us, baby. Right now, S&P 500 still waiting, still watching, looking for this next move. Can we be able to get a fade back on down? Can the S&P 500 be able to crack? Dek, where did we bounce at so far? We are bouncing. It's trying to bounce, as you guys can see, off of the old spiking high from the previous day in the morning. So you can see the S&P 500 spike right here, top right here, top right here. Remember, every single day, every single trade, every single move that you see the S&P 500 make, it's from people buying it. When people sell off the S&P 500, there's a reason. When people buy the S&P 500, there's a reason. Think about the S&P 500 like this, guys. Okay, let's think about it like this. This is an interesting way to think about it, okay? Let's think about the S&P 500 as we are in space. You are an astronaut in space right now. And let's say you have a baseball. What happens if you throw a baseball in space? That baseball will go forever. That baseball will go forever until it hits something. Once it hits something, a meteor, a comet, a rock, it'll hit it and it'll deflect and then it'll go that way forever. Right? There's nothing to slow it on down. If we are just flying around in the midst of space, that ball will go forever until there's some reason for a change of direction. Same exact thing with the S&P 500. The S&P 500, imagine there is no gravity. Imagine there is no force field. Imagine there is no debris. We would just be going forever in one sense of direction until we get deflected to move into another sense of direction. So as we already know, this morning we did get deflected. And what did we get deflected on? Well, we know we had a lot of resistance right around that 504.50 mark. We had 504.60 right at the top, 504.50 right here, old top right here. Let's go back to a 15-minute time frame. Take a look at a 15-minute time frame. bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. We can scroll on back right here, top resistance. You can see bounce play right here. You guys can see bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. So when the S&P 500 opened up this morning and people bought it, guess what happens? We're just going up, up, up until we got deflected. And we got deflected and we got shot on down. And we got shot on down, shot on down, shot on down, shot on down until guess what happened? Now we just got deflected to the upside. Well, why did we get pushed on up to the upside? Why are people buying right now to the upside? Well, because we're bouncing off of where we had resistance yesterday and resistance yesterday and resistance yesterday. So we have these old resistance areas, and now again, we're getting these bounce plays back on up. So you can see almost if we just throw a ball forever, it would just go forever until we hit a reason on why it would turn around. The S&P 500 always has its reasons. The S&P 500 has a reason why it moves up, has a reason why it moves down. What are these reasons? These reasons are from support lines, resistance lines from previously in the chart. And this is from buyers buying in and sellers getting in. When people are saying, hey, you know what? I want to get involved in puts. I'm moving down. Why? Because of the past chart history pattern. Hey, I'm getting in because of news right here. Okay, boom, there's a reason. So we can really see the S&P 500 is going to flow forever. The S&P 500 is going to flow forever. We just want to understand where the deflection is going to be. Where is that deflection point going to be at? And that's the best way to be able to think about it. So I want to make sure everyone is all set, ready to go. So traders, we are getting a little bit of this drop back on down. Crack underneath area. Crack underneath this area. Let's just think about this, guys. You know, where's the next deflection point? Where would people buy in on the S&P 500 underneath this purple line? Well, the obvious answer is all the way back down to 500. 500 would be the next area where people would say this would be the next deflection point, where we could see bounce play here, bounce play here, bounce play here, bounce play here. So you can see 500 would truly be that next kind of deflection area where it would give a sense of traders, a sense of happiness, a sense of a confidence, a sense of, okay, I feel good about buying right here. So the S&P 500, do I think we're going on down? Traders, looks like it. Looks like, again, traders, again, try to get the little bounce play off this area, and there's still more room to fall. There's still more weakness here. There's still more room to drop. Right now, everything is all set here. Looking for this next move. Looking for this next rip and run. Looking for this next climb. Looking for this next opportunity for us. So guys, still getting weaker. S&P 500 still getting weaker right now. S&P 500 starting to drop all the way back on down here. So we're still fading. We have room to go all the way on down towards 500, honestly. We still have about $1.30 that we can drop before we really have that deflection point. Right now, we're just astronauts in space who throw in a ball, and that ball's going forever right now. So, Dek, what's the next possible entry? Next possible entry that you guys can get involved in. Either put contracts right now for another $1 drop, or you start getting involved in calls, and let's do a strike price at 5,000. I would probably say 5,025 would be a great area. 3 contracts for a strike price, looking for that dip buy. I think a great dip buy that everyone would agree on would be back on down near this bottom blue line. Back on down near this bottom blue line. Anything underneath 550 would be acceptable to start getting filled. Anything underneath 550 would be acceptable to start getting filled, to say, hey, you know what? We just fell from 505 all the way back on down towards 500. We just fell $5. There's a great opportunity to be able to see a dip buy here pretty soon. So again, we're waiting for this big sell-off. We know the blue line is all the way back down to 505. Now, are we guaranteed to go all the way down to 505 or 500? No, there's no guarantee. So the thing is, if we can get 540, that could be a great start to start adding. If we can get 520, that could be the great bottom area. You know, we don't have the exact entries. We don't. So we have to basically try to dollar cost average, DCAing they call it. You know, try to get in where we believe is going to be right around that bottom, and we'll have the best overall bottom for a move on up. So right now, we are still right next to these low of the days here, traders. Still want to be able to get filled over on these plays. And S&P 500. Watching to see, can we drop on down towards some new lows? Can we keep on fading here? We have, again, a nice dip, and congratulations to puts. Puts from 500 and 504.50 have been crushing it so far. Puts all the way from 540 have been crushing it so far. And now, again, we are waiting for this this blue line. And I think, you know, the greatest thing about this, and the greatest thing when I teach guys, is that everyone can trade with confidence. Traders can all say, and traders can all agree, oh yeah, Dek, I understand why, again, we want to get involved at that blue line. The blue line bounced, the blue line bounced, the blue line bounced. And if we want to get filled slightly above the blue line, I understand, you know, traders may just move in for the bounce play here pretty soon. So that's all it is. It's just, again, you know, traders might be moving in for that bounce play here pretty soon. So, you know, we're trying to stay as patient as we can and do everything right. Now, remember, our patience so far has saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine if we got filled at, you know, let's say the price of 502. Imagine if we got filled again at the price of 501.80. Imagine if we got filled at, you know, a bad price on calls. Our patience has been what has helped us make, or has kept us from being in the red so far. So patience is huge. Patience is crucial. So right now we are watching. Yep, right now, again, I know I got, you know, I got non-copyright music going in the background right now. If you guys don't like it, I'll just turn it off. If you guys don't like it, if you're saying, this music's lame, Dek, this music sucks! Turn it off, Decky, this music sucks! If that's how you're feeling, I'll turn it off. I didn't know if you guys just want a little bit of tunes or whatnot. If you guys don't like them, I'll turn them off. Just non-copyright music that maybe gets you going in a non-copyright way. You know what I feel like, again, I'm listening to when I'm in like non-copyright music? I feel like I'm in like 8th grade music class. You know, like 7th grade music class, when you kind of just sit there and, you know, I don't know, you're just listening to the oddest stuff. All right, all right. We'll change it. We'll change it. We'll change it. Right now we're watching this here. So we still have a little bit of a drop at this moment. Turn it off, Dek. This music sucks. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to mommy's. Right now, S&P 500. Still watching to see another about dollar drop. We want to see this one. Dollar drop. I don't want to go with you, Daddy. This music sucks. I want to go back to Mommy and Jeff's house. You suck. This music sucks. Ah. J Trades. Now up 41 wins in a row over on J Trades. J Trades is going for, this is J Trades' longest green streak in a row. So just a little shout out to J Trades right now on his longest green streak in a row in his trading career. He's on 41 wins in a row right now. Shout out to J Trades. Guys, little heads on up. We are starting to come back on down towards these lows. Let's get ready for our possible dip buy. Let's get ready for our possible entry here pretty soon. So we know, again, as we keep on falling, it's our happy area. Go to your happy place, Happy. Go to your happy place. All right, Grandma. Let's do this. Guys, we're looking for that one more sell-off here if we can get it. One more sell-off. Give us that one more sell-off. Give us that one more drop. Give us that one more fade. S&P 500 almost back on down towards a low. We know that blue line is going to be our target. We know that blue line is going to be our area. We basically want to surround that blue line. It might be slightly above the blue line. It might be underneath the blue line. We cannot give you a 100% certainty. But it's basically like we want to surround that blue line the best we can. Does everyone understand my game plan? Does everyone understand? Can everyone say, Dek, I understand what you're looking for. Deck, you have a $4 drop at this moment. We have been falling for all morning at this time. It's basically been falling for an hour. You're looking to get in at the low of the day rather than buy for a breakout at the high of the day. You're also not doing put contracts and chasing a $4 drop. And you're looking for where it bounced off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times yesterday. So we're looking for a 6-time area bounce play after a $4 drop, after an hour of crashing, and looking to be able to get filled at $500 natural support. I think everything that I'm looking for has good credible reason. I think everything that I'm getting involved in has a good idea. I think everything that I've been talking about so far is, again, pretty solid. So we are getting weaker here, team. 548, getting very, very close to possible first starting entry points. Now, this is basically where you as a trader have to kick in. You know, it's like, all right, do I want to get in a little bit high here? Do I want to get in a little bit lower? Like, what's the idea? You know, of like this is all possible entries down here now, guys. We are not at the blue line exactly, but I can't say we're guaranteed to go touch that blue line. We got down to 537 so far. 537. Guys, I'm going to start first entry right now. Just going to get filled first entry right now at this moment. Just got filled first entry down towards, again, that area. So I am in right now first entry. And guys, we are dumping here pretty good. Dumping here pretty good at this moment. I'm actually going to look for another possible entry. Oh, wow, guys, we are getting weak. Wow, we're getting very weak right now. We are, again, getting a very weak drop all the way down towards these bottom. What we came on down to, 499. I'm going to get filled 499.40, I'm thinking. 499.40 area is the next area to be able to get filled on over on this play. We basically just had a huge sell-off. See if this one could keep on dropping. See if this one could keep getting weaker. What's going on here? SPX call contracts, 5,025. There we go. I was like, what's going on here? So we have a lot of weakness at this moment. I am filled at this time. Still trying to get filled right next to that blue line. Let's see if we go a little bit lower, and I can be able to get filled, you know, for even more. I am in right now. Let me bring up my position box for you so you guys can see my current position box. There's my current position box. Currently down 500, looking for a dip buy and bounce play. So currently down 500 at this moment. And looking for a dip buy and bounce play. So I'm in on this play right now. Not going to add on to this for a little bit. I only have 3 contracts in on this play. It got filled on the stock right around the 540 mark. 530 mark was my entry. So only got filled 3 contracts right around 530 was my entry. Now remember, what's the idea of this play? Deck was getting filled, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. He got filled on his first entry. Where at? This orange line right there. That orange line was my first entry. So now, as you guys can see, I'm almost back to even. But if you guys got filled at 500, great entry. Or if you guys got filled slightly underneath 500, that's a great entry. So if you guys got filled at 500, great entry. Or if you guys got filled underneath 500, that's a great entry. But we are back at my entry right now, looking to be able to push ourselves on up. And let's try to make, $500 out of this trade. So if we can be able to push back on up, make $500 out of this trade with just 3 contracts, I think that would be a great, awesome profit for us to be able to get, come out on top here. So we're up $300 right now. Let's see if we can keep on pushing here. Remember, this is only 3 contracts. So we are basically looking for a real big bounce. And the thing is, team, we've already gotten a good solid bounce off this area. Now, if we can break up towards around like 570, that's going to be a great area for us. Guys, we're up $360 now, $390. Guys, 420 right here, up $420 right here, 450, and let's 480, and let's take our gains. All right, guys, just shy underneath $500. Did everyone make money with me today? Did everyone make money with me today? Good. Guys, I'll be honest here. I can't make this any easier than that. I cannot make this any easier than that. There was no way possible. There was everyone being prepared for the past hour. There was everyone knowing exactly where we were going to get filled at. There was everyone being prepared for the dip buy with our credible reasons. There was every single trader jumping in at the same time with me. There was no reason why not every single person on YouTube that's watching, on Discord that's watching, on Twitter that's watching, on StockTwits that's watching, on Tradecaster that's watching, that not every single one of you should be up at least $100, $200, $300. Again, I invested $3,000 right there. Was able to make $420. Every single one of us should have had a bounce play at some point. I probably had the worst entry out of everyone. 530. Then if you guys got filled at 520, 510, 490, 480. Right? Deck, it's perfect textbook. We call it deck book. Hey, follow the deck book, baby. Follow the deck book. Not bad, not too shabby, eh? Not too bad, not too shabby, huh? So good. Good work, guys. Amazing job, amazing work from everyone right there. Making sure that every single person is good on this day. Making sure every single person is coming out on top. Making sure every single person is making some good money. That's my goal here. And I mean, that's going to be the biggest bounce play most likely after that. Deck, put on the bad music. Let's throw on the music again. Let's throw on the music that you guys don't like. Yeah, we need a little bit, a little energy up here.
Maybe we could ride that coast.
I love copyright music. Non-copyright music, sorry.
Find another place to go. Drive until sun gets low. Cruise until the night gets cold. Move before the new gets old. Move before the new gets old.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Let's get ourselves prepared here. So, can every single person understand why I made that trade? Okay, guys, do you guys really hate that music that much? Is it? I kind of like that song. That song's growing on me. I like that song. All right, I thought for music that's acceptable to play for everyone, I thought that was a good one to play. I thought that was okay. All right, traders. What we have at this moment, though, the S&P 500, nice bounce play. If you guys are still holding on to this play, you guys are still good to go. You guys could be up even more money. All right, so, congratulations. Great work. Great job for everyone who just came out on top in the green. Now, something that you can also look for is next trade is going to be put contracts. Put contracts back on up near the VWAP. We are now going to be inside of this channel, okay? So we have top resistance, fade back on down, top resistance, fade back on down, top resistance, fade back on down. Notice we got that monster breakout. Then again, we came back in the channel. Right now, we're going to be back inside this channel. This channel that I'm referring to right here, okay? So we have this top purple line, bottom blue line. Next put contract, if you want to get involved in puts, is going to be somewhere up towards around that like 570 mark, 501.80. So basically you want to see about $1 rip right here, come up to the top and then get rejected and then fall back on down. So now at this point, you are going to only get filled at either the purple line or the blue line. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to do anything else other than get filled at the purple line and blue line. Get filled on put contracts, okay? So puts are going to be here. Puts are going to be here. Puts are going to be here. And next time you guys come on up, puts are going to be right there. Okay? So puts. Then on top of that, guys, we know that we are going to be looking for call contracts down here. So what this answer gives us is this is going to be our call contracts. And of course, this next entry is going to be our call contract. So that's basically, the next area that we want to get involved in. That's how we want to be looking over on this play next. Let me post that for you guys so that we're all set. Let me post this for you guys, helping everyone on out. Remember, just going to be having ourselves a day today, team. That's all. Just going to be having ourselves a day. Just going to be making sure every single person's coming out on top, making sure every single person's a winner. You got a feeling. All right, traders, right now still just waiting, watching, looking around here. Going to be getting ready for that next possible trade, as you guys know. Next trade will be put contracts as it comes up to that top purple line. So I'm still just trying to share this picture with everyone. But it would be like 501.80, 501.90. So 501.80, 501.90 is like the next area. So right now, team, I'm just still sharing this picture around with everyone, making sure that we're not missing anything. And other than that, 501.80, 501.90 is the next possible put contract. So we will look for another one. Look to see if we can push our profits up to over $1,000 today. Basically get 2 wins underneath our belt here. I did want to enter again down towards, again, that like 408.80 mark. That would have been awesome to be able to get filled on down towards around that 408.80 mark, get filled, near a nice bottom mark. So if you guys did get filled, near any of those bottoms, you guys probably made some great profits today already. But the big thing is I always like to be prepared, right? Always like to be prepared. So what does that mean? It means put your order in right now if you need to, right? Or at least, have an order box ready to go. So what I mean by it is having an order box ready to go is switch on over to puts. SPX. Go on up towards, again, the price of 5,040. Put contracts, 3 contracts, all set, ready to rock. There we go. All right, guys, I need to put something on, though. I'm typing in right now, copyright-free party music. Or should I do dance party background music? All right, let's go dance party background music, free copyright. No copyright, dance party music royalty, free music. Okay, this has to be good. This music's going to be awful. Let's see. Is everyone having fun here tonight? Is everybody having fun? Oh! I'm having fun. I'm feeling skinny. I'm feeling skinny, Tony. Oh! Is it Thursday? it the best day of your life. It's both. We'll let that cook in the background. We'll let that cook right here. We'll let that cook in the background. So it's a little... I feel like I'm stuck on like a video game home screen or something. But I need something to keep me going here. KRS-One, nice. Exactly. Hey, if you saw heavyweights, you're great. I love you. All right, guys, let's get ready for this next possible trade. Put contract coming on up. Put contract coming on up. 50180 possible next. 50180 area, possible next area for a put contracts. VWAP area is also right next to that 502 mark. We're actually going to change this to 5,030. Put ourselves right out of the money here slightly. Come on, can we go a little bit higher? Go a little bit higher if we can. Basically, we want to hit this purple line, get rejected. Hit that purple line, get rejected. Hit that purple line, you know, be able to fade back on down. We want to see like a quick little 10-cent pop, guys. There it is. Boom, just getting filled right here. Gonna get filled right here over on put contracts to see if, again, this actually is going to hold on up as a top mark. Let's see if it is going to hold up as a top area. You know, basically what I'm looking for, and it's not confusing in any sort of way, is I'm saying, all right, Deck, we hit a top here, we faded on down. We hit a top here, we faded on down. We broke out right here, we faded back on down. I'm looking to basically hit a top here and look for a drop back on down. So that's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking to do anything crazy. I'm not looking to do anything wild. I'm not looking to do anything nuts. All I'm looking for is top, 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 breakout, and then again, hit the top and be able to fade back on down. We can switch over into a 1-minute time frame to get a little bit more detail if we need to out of this play, and watch to see if we can fall back inside this area. So let's see if we can be able to fade and fall back inside this area. Always have a sell order ready up in case things go against you. Things go against you, things aren't looking good. That's where, again, you got to move on from these plays. So if things are not ever going well, you got to be able to move on. Here's the VWAP area. VWAP area. VWAP area. We need to fall back underneath 502. Oh, starting to get a little bit weaker here. Or excuse me, starting to still have some strength. VWAP should be, again, a sign of resistance. VWAP should be always resistance area. I want to see this fall back underneath 502. Fall back inside my channel. Fall back underneath 502, fall back inside my channel here. That's my idea. Deck, what's stop loss? Stop loss is, again, breaks the VWAP area. Break the VWAP, not worth it for me to hold and hope. Don't hold and hope if you break the VWAP. VWAP is, again, 502.10, starting to break it, guys, getting out, moving on. So, guys, that trade did not work out the way I wanted it to, so guess what I do? I take a loss on it, I move on from it. Now, let's say it starts turning back on down, Deck. Let's say it does start turning. Let's say it does start dropping. Let's say we do start seeing that weakness. Let's say, again, we do start getting that crack. Well, then, you know what? We can always jump back on in. But I don't want to get squeezed out. I don't want to, you know, be down $2,000. What was my game plan? My game plan was I was going to get filled on this play and be able to see this play reverse. Is this play reversing? The answer is no. So guess what? I'm not going to sit and hope that it just randomly does reverse. We still have the VWAP touching here, VWAP touching here. Back inside this area, I can look for a reversal if I want to. So again, S&P 500 team still looking around here, keeping tight stop losses though. Keeping tight stop losses, keeping tight opportunities. I'm down to get after trades, but if they do not go my way, I'd like to get out of them quickly. Let's see here. Here's a little bit of that drop. So there's a little bit of that drop that I wanted. Is the drop starting to happen here pretty soon? We're going to watch this here closely. What I don't like doing is is this drop working now? Came on up to the VWAP. Again, got out on this play on the VWAP. If this thing starts turning and dropping, I'd still be happy with the idea of what I was thinking about. I still think we might get a little bit of a upper shadow up near that, you know, right above the VWAP. If you guys are in on puts right now, you're back in the right idea. If you guys are in on puts right now, you're back in the right idea. You're back on the right focus. You're back on the right plan here if you guys are in on puts. You wanted to basically get that drop in that fade. I think we might get a little bit of a move on up towards 502.20, and then I might jump back on in. MSGM Deck I got in calls when you got in on calls at 500, just made 130%. Man. I love you guys. There's not much better when I see again the squad making profits like this. There's not much better. Right now, S&P 500, it's still sitting right around that 502 mark. I still think there's a chance that this could pop itself on up towards, like, 502, probably up towards this area, 502.40. I might look for one small more put contract right around 502.40, 502.50 if we get that, though. If we do get a little put contract up towards around 502.40, 502.50, little downtrend, some old resistance, right here at that mark. You see bounce play. So we do get a little pop on up, little pop. 502.40s is kind of where I think the next put contract would be, unless the VWAP really can't hold on up. And here comes a little bit of that rejection. So if you guys are still holding tight on my first put contract right now, you guys are doing fine. It does look like the weakness is starting to happen here. At some point, it's going to give in. Some point, it's going to give in and start fading back on down towards, the low 501.50s if this can't break on out. So it's still sitting right around the 502 mark. You can see how that VWAP is still trying to hold tight. VWAP is still trying to hold tight. VWAP area is still trying to hold on up. Still, my favorite trade today was obviously that bounce off 500. Bounce off 500, was just fantastic. So here comes a little bit of a squeeze. Well, came on up to 502.15. Got a little bit of rejection right back on down. We've hit the VWAP so far 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So we've hit the VWAP so far 4 different times and basically battling in between this very tight little area. Tight between the VWAP and this channel. Now remember, we got room to be able to fade and fall all the way back on down. We got room to be able to fade and fall all the way back down towards weakness. If we cannot get above that VWAP area. If you can't get above that VWAP area, you got a lot of room to be able to fade and fall and get ugly here. If it can get above the VWAP, it's going to spike on up towards around 502.50. I am not in on anything right now. I basically jumped in. It went to the VWAP. I got out of the play. I don't want to risk getting squeezed. So what I would like to see, honestly, is a spike and then fall back underneath the VWAP. Show that it's spike and can't hold its gains. Right now, S&P 500, still testing that VWAP area. Still just testing the VWAP right now. Let's see if the S&P 500 is going to be able to make any sort of nice move. See if the S&P 500 is going to be able to get that next climb, next rip, next run here. So the SPY, guys, notice that's an S&P 500 trying to get a little pop. Guys, here comes that little pop. Here comes a little bit of that squeeze. Here's that little squeeze that I was trying to avoid. Little bit of a top. Now, the thing is, if we go back underneath the VWAP of the price of 502.10 and back underneath 502, that's when we should sell on off. So if we just popped the VWAP. You guys saw that, right? We just popped the VWAP. If we cannot hold the VWAP, that's going to show a sign of weakness. What buyers want at this point is the fact that we want to hold above that VWAP area. If it can't hold above that VWAP, that shows a lot of weakness. And basically what we have right now is a lot of different trend lines that are all kind of setting themselves on up. So we basically have 502.50 strong resistance. We have little trend line, a little downtrend right now. We got little uptrend right now. We basically have all these different areas that is kind of making traders feel like, okay, which way is this going to go next? And that's why there's a lot of confusion in the air right now. Basically, traders are trying to figure out which way is this going to go? Which way is this going to be able to hold? Are we going to squeeze and spike? And right now, here's that squeeze that I wanted to avoid. So traders, so the thing is, let me ask you guys a question. Is it better to lose a little bit and be able to get out of a play? Or is it better to just keep on holding and see yourself down 1,000, 2,000 and have your gains completely erased? Something that, I try my best to stick with is when I'm not correct, I move on. When I am not correct, I try to say, let me get out of it. It wasn't what I wanted to do. I could sit here and hold a play all day if I wanted to. But that holding could just lead to, again, a monster loss. I don't want to do that. I would rather be a trader that, again, is an example to you. Say, oh, Dek got in a trade. Didn't work out. He got out. Boom. No big issues. Right? That's what I want you guys to realize. Those are the things I want you guys to take away from me. I want you guys to take away where I'm getting in on entries because I have good, credible reasons. And then I want you guys to realize that if I'm incorrect with that, I get out of it. Right? So it's like we're not gambling. We're not holding and hoping. We're going after these plays and saying to ourselves, all right, hey, what is the best opportunity for me? How can I come out on top here? Marta saying sometimes you need to let your idea play out, though. No, I agree. I agree with that. Let your idea play out at times. But you still, if you're really confident in your trade, let it play on out. If you're just saying, I don't know about this one, then just get out. You can always jump back in again. You can always jump back in again if you want to. Let's see if we, again, fall back underneath that VWAP area. Start fading and cracking at all underneath the VWAP. Going back underneath again, 502. We also did come all the way back on down here, traders, towards that, daily chart. The daily chart was the big thing for us here. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. That daily chart right here. Notice we have that uptrend. That uptrend, once that uptrend cracks, man, whenever that uptrend cracks, that uptrend can crack tomorrow. If that uptrend cracks and we actually fall underneath 500, there's not much that's going to be able to hold us. There's not much that's going to be able to hold this thing on up here. So once that uptrend cracks, that purple line, that's where this thing is going to get extremely weak. So it's still trying to move itself on up. No entries, guys. No reason to enter. Everyone sit back, stay smart. No reason to enter. No reason to be in on. If you're on calls right now and you're saying, oh, Dek, I'm in on calls, then hey, that's fine. Great profit that you're making. Nothing wrong with that in any sort of way if you guys are in on calls right here. So S&P 500, still kind of waiting for that next possible trade. Want to get myself, a nice solid profit on this day. I always try to shoot for about $1,000 a day. That's what I'm always looking for. That's what I'm always trying to gauge. $1,000 profits, $1,000, and $1,000 is always, I think a great overall opportunity to be able to make money. Right now, S&P 500 came on up towards, again, that 502.50-ish mark. Looking to see, can we be able to fade, fall, start dropping, go back underneath these areas. Right now, team, at this moment, we are starting to go back underneath the VWAP and back underneath 502. If we stay underneath the VWAP and fall back inside this channel, get ready for some more entries. Okay? So just a little heads up for every single trader, guys. If we do start fading and falling and start dropping, underneath 502, get ready for another entry because now the VWAP, notice what we had here, team. This is kind of the big thing, okay? Notice we hit the VWAP once and we fell. We hit the VWAP again and we fell. And we hit the VWAP again and we fell. And we hit it again and we fell and again and we fell and again and we fell. Then we broke the VWAP and went on a nice rip and run. What do you think it does to the confidence of traders? To the mindset of traders when we are basically hits VWAP, falls, hits VWAP, falls, hits VWAP, falls, hits VWAP, falls. We break the VWAP. Yes, we broke the VWAP. And then we come right back underneath the VWAP. You know how I think about it? I think about it like back in 1999, back in 2002. Who had PlayStation back in 2002? The first one ever. And who would play a video game? You would play a game and then you would beat a hard level and you didn't have your memory card in. That was the worst feeling in the world. Because now, next time you play, you have to redo that entire level. And you're saying, oh man, this level took me so long to do last time. This level took me so hard. It was so much. That's how basically traders feel at this time. Where traders are saying, hey, you know what? We had to break the VWAP, break the VWAP, break the VWAP. We can't break the VWAP. And now again, now we're underneath the VWAP. It basically makes you not even want to play the game anymore. It makes you basically say, hey, I don't even want to get involved in this anymore. It's too tough. It's too sticky. It's too tricky right now at this moment. So that is a great sign of confidence that, we are not going to be able to spike ourselves back on up. And let's see if we can stay underneath this VWAP area. Let's see if we can stay underneath this VWAP line. So again, here comes the VWAP once again. I'm going to give it a little attempted touch here. This red line represents the VWAP. That's right where the red line's at. And basically, it's like traders saying, man, I really want to be able to break this area. So puts, can you be on put contracts right now? Absolutely. Be on put contracts if you guys are looking for a small trade at this moment, because if at some point traders may give up on this play and dump it on down. So traders may jump in on this play and dump it on down if we can again break through this mark here. So Dek, you gonna jump in? I'm definitely thinking about jumping in here in a moment over on the S&P 500 or SPX if we can't break this area. 3 contracts, same exact thing. Gonna jump on in over on SPY if we keep staying underneath this VWAP for the sell-off. Getting weaker. Ooh, getting weaker here. Watching this one. But I want you guys, again, when I teach my trades, guys, I want you guys to understand what I'm doing. I don't want you guys to sit here and watch and just clap your hands like little minions and say, oh, good job, Dek. Oh, thank you. I want you guys to understand what I'm doing. I want you guys to be able to say, oh, Dek did this because of this. Oh, he made profit because of this. Oh, he lost because of this. Oh, he made money because of this. And then you can be able to digest it. And then you can be able to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this next time, or I'm not going to do this next time. Okay, hey, I understand his thought process at least. This was the result. Oh, wow, he made so much money right here because this is what he said was happening, and now I can kind of follow it as other traders follow it. So, traders, we are getting weaker right now. Guys, I am in on this play. In on this play. I'm going to give this a chance here. In on this play. In on this play. This is the same contract that I was in on before, which was when I lost $600 here. So same contract as I was in on before, and now I just made back $600. So just made back the $600 loss that I just had because of the psychology behind it. Let's see here. Can we keep on cracking to go lower? I would like to see this all the way back on down towards 501. Can we be able to get a big time dump? Man, we just got another lower shadow. I am in on this play right now. I was down against $600 on this contract, made all of that $600 back real quick. But now again, we did just form a little lower shadow. I saw the weakness right there, which I do like. I always like to see that weakness. Basically, again, traders just gave up on that play, right? Are we going to bounce back on up though and keep on holding here? Let's see. I can always get out right now. Dek basically break even at this moment. Definitely could do that. Just basically a break even type of move. But it's cool to at least win or lose. It's cool to get the idea of what's going on. It's cool to get the idea of what's happening. It's cool to get the idea of, okay, hey, this is what, has just happened on this trade for this reason, right? It's like, okay, psychology-wise, psychology is such a major factor. It's such a major, component, such a major idea here, how understanding, where traders give in, where traders give up. So right now, team, let's see if we get this dump. Let's see if we can get ourselves all the way back into the profit here. I don't like the 501.80s. I definitely want to see the 501.40s. I want to see the 501.30s. I want to see a nice sell-off down towards the bottom. Basically, come on down towards this area. We have this huge channel to be able to fade and fall. Huge channel to be able to fade and fall. Blue line all the way back to 500 is a little bit of a stretch. I think a good area to be able to make gains would be 501.30 area, 501.40. I think that's realistic. So remember, I am down $200, but I'm actually up on this trade $400 because I had a $600 loss and I'm trying to make that back. So I'm basically making back a $600 loss here. Guys, making back the $600 loss almost. Oh man, we're so close to getting that $600 loss back. And now we're in the green. Now we're in the green. Now we're getting the dump. Guys, now we're getting the sell-off that we like. Now we're getting that sell-off. Now we're getting ourselves back into the green. Now it's like the same exact thing as we talked about before. Traders are giving in on this day, giving in on this play here. Guys, I'm going to take my gains right here and basically just get rid of that bad trade. So basically, guys, I just want to get rid of that bad trade I made before. I just want to clear it out. But here comes a little bit more of the sell-off as well if you guys are keep on holding. So does everyone understand how this just happened? Look at this, guys. Now it's still getting weaker. Now, again, it's starting to fade. Now it's starting to drop. Now we're starting to get, even more here. So again, 2 for 3 on my trades today. I hope everyone's making some money today. I really hope everyone's making some money. I really hope everyone's making some cash. You guys have to understand this is all psychological. This is all the breakdown of trades. Team, we gave you a lot of examples about today. Examples of number one, if you throw a baseball in space, it goes until it's deflected in one way. What's our deflection points? Our deflection points is $500. Our deflection points is up towards around that 502 mark, right? So you can see how we have these deflection points where basically, again, the stock is hitting these areas, then getting rejected in one way or another. Then on top of that, guys, we also talked about how people basically gave up. We gave the analogy as a little kid, you might have a PlayStation, and as a little kid, you say, man, I couldn't beat this level, I couldn't beat this level, I couldn't beat this level, I finally broke this level, and then guess what? Your memory card didn't save. So guess what you do? You say, I don't even want to play this game anymore. I'm over this game. You know, I signed back in, I have to break this level again, don't care about it, you don't play anymore. No one plays anymore, everyone leads to the sell-off. Look at this, guys. Look at the S&P 500 sell-off as no one wants to play the game anymore. No one wants to test the VWAP anymore, and everyone says, okay, hey, time to sell on off. So traders, look at this. S&P 500 selling on off now, dropping, fading, getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So, even the trade that I lost on today, where did I get filled on it, guys? Let's talk about this. If we want to think about where did I get filled on my entries, you tell me. You guys tell me today if I did a great job today. I got filled on my first entry right here, right? This was my first entry on calls, right? So I got in on a little bit of a drop, and then we got filled on calls to the upside. That was my first entry. My second entry was right here on puts, right? So this was my put contract entry where I did get out on, right? I got out and I again took a loss. But then I also got filled right here and then again made money as we fell back on down right there. So traders, did I make great entries today? I will tell you right now, if I do entries like this every single day, I am going to be able to trade for a very long time and I'm going to make a whole lot of money. I got filled perfectly right as we came on down towards 500, got the dip buy, and we went on up. I got filled on a put contract that went slightly higher than what I wanted, but ultimately it was the right idea, so I had the confidence to jump back on in and be able to make back my loss from earlier. So, few $100 today so far. A few $100 already so far today, team. Remember, I'm not a person who hides behind a screen and just says, okay, everyone buy this play, right? It's very simple for me if I wanted to just, hide behind a screen and say, all right, I'm in right now, $40,000. Okay, guys, all right, I'm out. Just made again $100 million. Everyone make $100 million on the best trader in the world. And it's like, what? How did you make any, you don't see anything. I want to show you. I want to show you my trades. I want to show you in live action. I want to show you my P&Ls. I want to show you again my profits. I want to show you my entries and exits. I want to show you absolutely everything that I've been able to do, right? Because that's how you are actually going to become better. That's how you're actually going to learn. That's how you're actually going to be a consistent stock trader, right? So that's what it really all comes on down to. So right now the S&P 500 fading back on down, starting to get some weakness, starting to drop here. Right now, SPY starting to still drop. So awesome work. Also, guys, if you guys are watching over on YouTube today, every single day, guys, every single day, I am live over on tradecaster.com. This is where I live stream all my trades with all of these other amazing live streamers here. So if you guys would like to sign up to a free, 100% free 7-day pass, make sure you guys are all set, ready to go. Come on over here on tradecaster.com so that you guys are all ready to rock and roll. So come check it on out. It's an absolute blast. We are here every single day, and this is where I live stream. So make sure you guys are getting all set for it. Also, as you guys know, we have so much coming on up with our shorting. So with our shorting coming on up here in the future, it's going to be game changing. If you guys think I'm good with options, I would say options is probably my worst strategy. Okay, so if you guys think I'm good with options, just wait until you see what I'm actually good at. What I'm known for, what I've put myself on the map for. When people say, oh yeah, Sean Dekmar, he's one of those great shorters. That's what I'm known for. So get ready for that. Get ready to see what comes on up here next. Get ready to see where this action and volume and momentum is really going to take us. Guys, Spy still inside this channel. Spy's just inside this channel right here. Yeah, we're just trying to keep on crushing it here, team. Trying to keep on crushing it, trying to keep doing what we're doing best, making this money, making this cash. I hope everyone again came out on top here. Thomas, hey man, new to trading, would love to learn more about charts. Do you offer any classes for that? Absolutely. We go over charting every single day. And also, again, over on tradecaster.com, we do have our video library. Our video library right here, team. We go over level 2 lessons, 2023 boot camp, candlestick patterns, charting, support and resistance, best chart setups. So again, a whole chart pattern boot camp right here for you to be able to get involved in, and you guys will be all set, ready to go. So now we have the S&P 500 trying to hold up itself, trying to hold up its gains right now, trying to, again, be as smart, consistent, keeping our eyes peeled over on this one, looking for this next move, next rip, next climb here. 5, 10, 50, still watching this, overall ripper and runner. So Spy right now, team. Let's see if we get rejected again off this top. Let's see if we get rejected again right off this top mark. Let's see if we get rejected again right off this top area. That's where a lot of traders have been at so far. Dek, can you do a small trade for us? I always get asked that question. Can I do a small trade? What do you guys want me to do? You guys want me to do a small $1,000 trade and see how much money we make just off of $1,000? So I don't mind doing it. So again, we can do a small $1,000 trade. Basically see how much money can we just make off of $1,000 here. The issue is it's going to start slowing down here pretty soon, right? The market's going to start slowing down here pretty soon. The market's going to start fading, and start getting a little bit weaker. Really, again, best entry, best idea here is still just to go ahead and look for a reversal right near that VWAP area. But we can look for it, probably just be like one contract. One contract, $1,410. That's a little bit more expensive than, again, $1,000. $5,030. So we can actually, if we want to, we could drop it on down towards this area. I would say watch it still. Try to get filled right next to, again, that red line. Trying to get filled right next to the red line. That would probably still be like the best area, right around $1,000 right here. So this would be right around a $1,000 contract. See how much money we can make. So S&P 500. Let's see if we get a little pop. See if we get a little pop right here. 1051 in the markets. Looking for this next possible move, this next rip, this next run, this next climb here. And I am, again, so excited. Fired on up and ready to go here. Looking for this, see where this momentum is truly going to take us next. And as you guys know, coming on up, we are getting involved in shorting. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, StockTwits, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be tonight. So again, make sure you guys go ahead, check that on out, and I'll be giving you guys a whole lot of details. But I will tell you right now, the shorting party is going to be starting on May 13th. So if you guys want to learn my favorite strategy, how I've been able to make the most amount of money in the stock market, what I've been able to do, May 13th is when we are going to get this party started. May 13th is when we're going to get involved. May 13th is when we're going to be getting after it. Right now, SPY still that 502 mark, strong resistance. I'll look for one more trade, as I said, right around that 502 area. Looking to see what we get next. Also, big thing that we definitely want to be watching, as we talked about before, is that we do have our earnings right here. Right, Thursday, Apple earnings. Keeping our eyes peeled over on this one. So we want to see, can this be able to make sure that we're all set? Sean, can you gritty? Man, that was like last year. That was the thing. The gritty thing last year. I've never been good at it. Never been good at it. Never. Working on it. I work on it in my off time. I work on it a little bit. So we're getting there slowly. Right now, S&P 500. Trying to, again, keep our eyes peeled over on this play right now. Best thing I've seen all month. Thank you so much. Hey, some people come here for the entries. Some people come here for the alerts. Some people come here for whatever it may be. But if you guys, again, just come here for a little bit of the giggling, a little bit of the laughs, I don't mind that whatsoever either. So, hey, awesome job, awesome work. Very excited working with every single one of you guys as always. Yay! Right now, S&P 500 here, team. Keeping our eyes peeled on this. Looking to see what we have. Also, guys, I will say this. Something that I usually never do, but someone sent it to me. And again, if I could have your attention here for a moment, is I usually never, again, kind of like Google myself or any of that type of stuff, because I understand, there's definitely sometimes in the stock trading field, sometimes in the stock trading, space here, sometimes I get thrown into a lot of like the mix of a lot of, I would say, scammy people, bad people out there that basically try to take advantage of people, things along those lines. If you guys have been with me for more than a week, more than 2 months, more than a year, you guys know that, of course, every single intention I have is to be able to, make sure that you become a better trader. I show up every single day. I live stream every single day. I trade every single trade live. I do it all, of course, in front of you, making sure that I'm putting in the hours, putting in the work to make sure that you guys become better. But I saw there was 3 reviews on this website called Trustpilot. And again, like they were all negative reviews of people, again, just basically like slamming me, saying a whole bunch of, mean stuff. And if you guys can take a second here, and again, it's absolutely free. You guys do not have to, but if you guys could take a second and give me 5 stars for the reviews just on, what I bring on in, I would really, again, appreciate that. So there were like, 3 people that, kind of just like wrote some mean things and, just kind of saying, scam, this, that. And, I always do my best to try to avoid that image in any sort of way by really trying to give you guys my all and trying to, again, bring everything that I possibly can. So if you guys can take a moment, just click 5 stars and again, say something positive or nice. If it's, anything that you guys can, find, I really do appreciate that. And just, don't want to, ever kind of ruin my name in any sort of way. So I just want to say thank you so much for everyone that shows up every single day. Thank you so much for the support that you guys show. And all I want to do is see you guys be successful. So thank you so much for everyone who does do that. And if you guys can just take a second, only 1 moment, just click 5 stars and write, a good sentence or whatever you would like to. But I just saw, again, like 3 people, again, wrote some negative things about me. And I was just like, man, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. So I hate when, again, especially people who don't know me already come in with like some sort of negative image about me when I really try my best to make sure that everyone's coming out on top. Wolfhound, Deck, I'll do 5 stars if you promise to stop the copyright music. Okay. Hey, deal. Deal. It won't happen again. Bunny made $520 on the SPX trade. Hey, there you go, Bunny. Shout out to you. So I did just post that, did just post that link right there. Please give 5 stars if you guys go ahead and check it on out. Again, I never really Google myself in any sort of way, but I saw mostly all positive thing, but then like, 3 people just kind of posted some mean things. And hopefully, again, you guys can help reverse that. So right now, S&P 500 still going on this move, still going on this rip and run. SPY back on up towards 502. Let's, Deck, are you going to look for that $1,000 trade for us? I'll look for that $1,000 trade for you guys. Let's, again, what was the issue on the first time, though? The first time here, right? The first time here was what? I bought in on the upside. So notice I got in on the upside. I made money on the downside. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to buy in on the upside. Let's wait until we kind of top on out and then buy money on the downside. So let's kind of wait for that reversal to happen. Let's not just buy in right now hoping for the top. Let's kind of wait to see if that reverses and then starts fading on down. I know Zach Copper's over on the call side right here. So again, shout out to you, Zach. Way to again crush it. Right now, S&P 500 still trying to get a little bit of a break right now. S&P 500 still getting a little bit of the break right here. Guys, S&P 500, a little bit of a squeeze. Don't do puts right now until we get the reversal, right? So the S&P 500 right now, team. We want to see if this goes back underneath the VWAP. Basically, get it on the downside. Right now, it's still holding. We got 11 o'clock. No reason to do puts with, again, positivity. No reason to do puts to positivity right here. Right now, SPY, keeping our eyes peeled over on this play. Watching to see this next move. Chisel saying, Deck, I'm serious when I say you are the best. I've worked in banking and hedge funds for 30 years, trading very large size, so never short-term stuff. I'm learning a lot from you, and I'm very impressed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Leave it in the review. I appreciate you so much again, Chisel Mo. I really do. So right now, team, appreciate you guys all. Right now, let's see the S&P 500. Mello, are you going to record the boot camp coming on up? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to be recording everything. Coming on up here, traders, it really is, it's going to be basically everything. Like, when I say, I want to teach you my strategy, there is not one thing that I'm going to hold back coming on up, starting May 13th. When we go over our shorting and when we start talking about this, I want to get to the point, and you guys can be open and honest if you guys want to. If you guys don't want to, you guys don't have to. But when it comes down to who feels like they can become a full-time options trader, is there anyone here who says, Deck, I've been trading options for a while, and I honestly just feel like it's so hit or miss? That's sometimes how I feel like when I'm trading options. When I'm trading options, sometimes I do feel like it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's like I have a great entry, but I have implied volatility holding me back. I have a great entry, but you know what? Time decay is not allowing me to make money. I have a great entry, but I don't have the right strike price, so I'm not making as much money as I could. So there's a lot of things that can go against you with options. With shorting, what I love so much is 85% of companies are going to fail. Nearly every single penny stock top gainers dumps on down. And once you get shares to short, you can hold them as long as you want with no repercussions whatsoever. So really, there's so much that can go for us, right? So we want to make sure that we're all set. AK, what's up with the AK? This is all, again, secret stuff, buddy. Send me a text message. She's Louise. But yes, guys, are we going to be getting a big boot camp coming on up in the future? Oh, jeez, we're getting a huge boot camp coming on up. Again, you guys already know. I'm going into shorting strategies coming on up. But, right now, we are in the back ends. We are in the prep right here of probably the biggest and most exciting trading boot camp for Tradecaster members we have ever had, with over 10 different traders teaching 3 days, everything they know, 30 days straight. That's going to be, again, in about a month and a half from now, so don't get too excited just yet. But, I want to make sure that you guys are all set, ready to go. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. But no, once you guys will know when that's gonna come. I promise you. Hey, you guys know, again, we don't hold anything back here. I'm giving you guys all the answers. You need a question answered, we're giving it. You want a strategy to be learned, we're giving it. This is going to be our, not coming up in May right here, the shorting, but coming on up probably, you know, in a next month and a half, it will be our final boot camp we ever do. And the reason why it's going to be our final boot camp we ever do is I just don't think we're ever going to be able to top this. We have 10 full-time traders teaching you everything they know for a month straight. Each trader gets 3 days to teach you their entire strategy from A to Z. A to Z, you learn it all, go to our next trader. A to Z, learn it all, another trader. A to Z, learn it all, another trader. By the end of that boot camp, when that thing comes on up, guys, it is you should have 3, 5, 6 notebooks just completely filled with every single trader strategy, and then you circle all the things that you love the best. So I want to teach you, of course, my strategy, what I like. But we're going to open up the doors for you guys to be able to learn from every other strategy out there so you can be able to come up with your own, right? I think that's, you know, so important and so great. Oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be absolutely huge. So hey, don't worry, we're gonna be getting a lot of details on that coming on up here in the future. Oh man, thanks to this community, after a year here and the info from you, AK and J Trades, I've successfully traded my own with confidence. Shout out to you. I'm so proud of you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Guys, 11 o'clock in this market right now. We are still watching to see if the S&P 500, remember, we want to get that downside. We want to see that reversal right here. We got a lot of things coming on up. So many things coming on up. Shorting coming on up. Boot camp coming on up. Got a few things over the summer planned on up. Couple trips for you guys coming on up. Some seminar stuff coming on up. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you guys do. Right now, S&P 500 here, team. S&P 500. Let's see if this thing does start getting that reversal back on down towards the VWAP turn. Get that small trade in. See what we can do here. I know Zach Trader looking for that 502 breakout. So S&P 500. Here's again here's the little channel that we have. Bounce play is going to be at 502. So if we do get this bounce play, it's going to be right at the VWAP. Bounce play is going to be at 502 for that dip buy if anyone's interested on calls. If you're saying, Dek, I don't want to do puts, I'm going on calls. Bounce play right at the VWAP. Bounce play right at the purple line is what you want to look for. That's going to be the idea. That's what you guys want to be on top of. Dek, where can we leave the review for you? I want to give you 5 stars. I can't post it on TikTok, but if you honestly just type in Dekmar Trades review, and again, I don't even trade on DekmarTrades.com anymore, but that's how a lot of people kind of associate me. And then you guys can go ahead and do that. But I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everyone who just left, you know, so much positivity. I really, really do. So again, thank you so much for that, and you know, bringing some amazing joy to me. So again, thank you so much for everyone who took a couple minutes right there. Just again, gave it 5 stars, and you know, I really, really, really appreciate that. Just kind of going over some random haters for no reason, I guess. But thank you so much for everyone who just kind of did that for me. S&P 500. Let's see if this is going to be able to hold on up. So far, we are 2 for 3 on our day. 2 for 3, always very solid. Again, I've been very happy with my entries and exits. We have entered so far down low at 500. We entered on puts up high at 502. It spiked a little bit, so we had a quick stop loss, and then we added again on puts and nailed this dump. So I'm very pumped to be able to see where we're at so far. Dek, how high can we go up to here? It looks like it's trying to get itself back on up towards around that high of the day area. now S&P 500 team still trying to get itself on up. SP Chris, thank you so much. DGC29, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, SPY SPY right now starting to break out of the channel. So we are seeing the S&P 500 starting to break out of that channel with a little bit of an uptrend. So we do have these areas. Take a look right here, guys. So far, you guys can see here is resistance. Here is resistance. Here is resistance. And as you guys can see at this moment, we are getting a little bit of the breakout, right? We also do know that at this bottom area is our bounce play. So we do have resistance, resistance, resistance. Here's our bounce play, trying to move ourselves on up here slightly. So S&P 500 still trying to slowly grind, trying to slowly move itself on up here. The Browns, thank you so much, Browns. I appreciate you, buddy. The Browns, NFL Browns? NFL Browns? I like the Browns. I like an underdog story. The Browns have always been a team that struggled, but they're getting so much better and better and better. I feel like if they didn't lose Chubb last year, they could have been really good. S&P 500 guys now above 503, breaking this resistance line. Deck, what's the next entry? What's the next area for this? I would probably still wait for a pullback. I would say if you guys are on calls right now, you guys are absolutely fine and crushing it, but I would not do anything at this moment if you guys are on calls or puts. If you guys are on calls, keep running it on up. If you guys are on puts though at this moment, watch this thing to fade back on down. SPY right now, SPY 504. S&P 500 still trying to spike up. Right now at this point, team, little heads on up. Everyone should be coming down to their final trades of the morning. You either should have already traded or you guys should be coming on down to your final trades of the morning. There shouldn't be anyone here that's saying, oh, Deck, I haven't traded yet. I'm looking for my first big trade of the day. We know, again, it's Thursday today, guys. Thursday at this moment. So we want to make sure that, we're being smart. We're using our head. No reason to jump in on anything that may not be there for us. SPY waiting on this one next. Deck, a little thirsty Thursday, a little tequila Thursday, a little margarita Thursday. Not too bad. Maybe not right now. I will say this, guys. I will honestly say this. I highly advise to not consume any alcoholic beverages while trading. I highly advise against it. It's not a good combo. I suggest you don't do it. But, we can still, set the tone a little bit. We can still, again, get ourselves with that, high energy as we always like. What do we have right here? Enrique! Enrique! Can you sing a little song, Thirsty Thursday today? I know you hate when I ask you. But can you sing a little song for the squad? A little song for the chat here?
Música y voy a cantar a la vez también.
Yeah, just sing a song.
Y es algo muy difícil, pero al que guste lo puedo enseñar. No cobro, yo no cobro.
Yeah.
Y dice así. Cuan, 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 cuan. Cuan, 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 cuan. Cuan, 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 cuan. Ya está cerrada con 3 candados y remachada la puerta negra. Queen, 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 porque tus padres están celosos y tienen miedo que yo te quiera. Cuan, 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 cuan. Han de pensar que
Thank you, Enrique. Hey, chat. Can we have a little? Can we clap it up for one of our amazing employees over here on TradeCaster.com? Can we clap it up for one of our amazing employees over here on TradeCaster? Shout out to, again, what Enrique's bringing to the house. So, shout out to Enrique. I appreciate Enrique right here. Thank you very much. Bringing, again, whipping his vocal cords on out. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Wolfhound, you are the biggest music critic in the chat. What is that? 1 to 5 stars. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone doing their thing there. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too shabby. Spy guy still trying to hold up its gains. Come on, we need one final trade here. One final trade on the morning. Wolfhound says that was way better than your stuff you were playing earlier. Okay. Right now, the S&P 500 team, still, again, absolutely great, absolutely awesome. Want to see how well this is going to be able to hold itself on up. Spy still sitting here, watching for this next move, watching for this next rip and run, seeing if the S&P 500 is going to be able to squeeze and push. We do have a little bit of calls right now at this moment. Spy right now, team. Still a small uptrend. Notice though, it's definitely slowing down at this point. If you were like, Deck, you have to go on a trade right now, which way would you go? I would be leaning towards the calls. Go with a little bit of momentum. We broke out of the downtrend. We still have the uptrend. So we broken out of the channel. We are above the VWAP. We have a beautiful uptrend setup at this time. So it's like there's a lot going on the positive side here. There's a lot going that's bringing in a lot of momentum towards this side here. So it's not going to be fast though by any sort of means. That's the issue, guys. I know, again, some people are saying, "Oh, Deck, jumping on a trade with a small amount, only $1,000, and see how much you can make." I feel like that might be a very bad thing because I know some people are going to follow me with a small account, and I don't know if we're going to actually make anything. So I don't want to disappoint you guys, but also at the same time, I don't want anyone to follow me just to end up losing $100 just to say that you can trade. Right now, I definitely want to be as smart as I possibly can be. We definitely had a great dropping morning. The best play that we could have nailed, which we did, was the $500 bounce. That was what made me so pumped and so excited about this morning. This whole entire day, this whole entire trade, it really just came on down to us, team, waiting for one opportunity. People think it's like, oh, the more I trade, the more money I can make. And that's not true at all, right? The more I trade, the more money I can make. That's not true. Because guess what? We all made money at what point? We all made money, or I'm going to say the majority of us made money at $500 bounce. At the $500 bounce is when I jumped in, is when the majority of you guys jumped in, is when we all said, okay, let's get involved here because we have the bounce play here, 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 the bounce play here. At the $500 bounce is when the majority of this goes flying on up. So that's where, the money making is. Sometimes you may only have 1 to 2 perfect setups, okay? That's what it comes on down to, right? It's almost like, I always try to think of different analogies. My mind always just kind of pops up with these different examples. It comes down to sometimes like a surfing contest. A surfing contest, you could be sitting there and you could just be waiting and waiting and waiting, and you have small wave after small wave after small wave after small wave. And then all of a sudden you see some ginormous rogue tsunami coming. If you nail that wave, guess what? You're probably going to win the contest. But a lot of times you have to wait for that wave. You got to, again, be able to sit there and wait and let it pass you on by, right? All these other little ones until that big one really shows on up. Same exact thing with the S&P 500 here, team. The S&P 500, we can jump in right now if we want to. We can jump in here. We can jump in there. We can jump in this. But guess what? If we use our funds, if we end up losing our accounts, if we don't have opportunities to trade and all of a sudden that big wave comes and now we're too tired to paddle out there, well, now guess what? We missed out on the number one opportunity. We waited and waited and waited until we came on down to 500 and we nailed the perfect dip buy. And we waited and waited and waited until it came on up to 502. And guess what happened? We did puts and we nailed the put on that side. To be able to nail 1, 2, maybe 3 perfect trades a day is all you can ask for. Then, of course, how do you make a lot of money? It just comes on down to upping your sizing. Instead of 3 contracts, do 9 contracts. Instead of 9 contracts, do 20 contracts. You'll be able to make $4,000 within minutes. So that's what it comes on down to, guys. Upping your contracts at the best area of support. Not, oh, I made $200 right now. Now, if I do this again, I'll make another $200. No, we made $200, $300, $800 because we got in at the best area of the day. This isn't like a roulette game. It's not like, okay, I just made $200 putting on black. Let me do another $200 on black. And you have the same circumstances. Nothing's changed from 5 minutes ago, but a lot's changed in the stock market. A lot's different now because we're at a different price. We're on a different trend line. We're above resistance. We're moving upwards. So there's a lot of things that will change as, again, time goes by. Right now, S&P 500, 1119 in this market. Let's see if there's anything else. Also, how are some of these other plays here? SGBX, morning spike, gave a lot of its back. Let's just go ahead and take a look. SGBX, morning spike, gave a lot of it back. RGF right here. RGF, a little bit of a squeezer. I like the daily chart. I like the daily chart right here. 13 EMA, 15 moving average, trying to squeeze itself, getting a nice little move here. OLB squeeze, gave a lot back right here. OPI. Not again, I like this daily chart. I like these daily charts where we had the 50-day and 13 EMA squeezing together. I like that. Deck EBS. Didn't EBS just have a really good earnings this morning? I believe that's what it was. You know, so EBS did have a very good earnings this morning. I will say I like the bull flag setup. You know, as long as we can stay above that VWAP, as long as we can stay above $4, we could easily squeeze and push all the way up to 500. Or not 500, $5. So the thing is, EBS, not a bad play whatsoever. Right now, team, I will be open to do what I like to call deck thoughts. So guys, right now at this moment, I am open to do deck thoughts. What's deck thoughts? I will, if you guys have a ticker that's on your mind, write out the ticker, just one ticker, and I will give you my 30-second honest opinion. I will tell you if I hate it. I will tell you if I like it. I will tell you what I think of it. So if you have one ticker that's on your mind, I will tell you exactly what I honestly think about it. ALLR, garbage at this point. This is what I love. Stock has a monster gap up, becomes a monster short. These are plays that we love for shorting. That makes us a ton of money on the short side. That's going to be a beautiful play for us to be able to get involved in like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the same exact idea. PLTR. PLTR is a stock that I hear about all the time on like Reddit, Twitter, social media, but I really don't see much from it. So PLTR, I see a lot of talk about PLTR, but I've never seen like crazy results from PLTR. I'm not even too familiar with how PLTR has been. So maybe in the future, absolutely, this could be the most amazing investment in the world. But I just, you know, as of now, I don't have enough information on it because I know so many people like this play. So I really would want to study PLTR and kind of what they actually do for the future to see if it would catch a trend. AMD. Again, the AI hype is starting to come on down to a little bit of a bottom, right? The AI hype is starting to fade. AMD, perfect dip buy opportunity back down towards the 200-day moving average around 135. NIO, again, another play a lot of people like, but NIO unfortunately just hasn't done much. Remember, it's hard to say, oh, I want to buy the stock when it's been falling for the last year straight. For over the last year and a half, we've been fading and falling and dropping on a big downtrend. It's very tough to say, okay, let's go ahead and buy it. If anything, I would look for a short more around like that 650 mark. Amazon. Can't really diss Amazon. Amazing company, amazing revenues, makes a lot of money, one of the top companies in the world. It's a great long-term investment. MRVL, Marvel Technology. Taking a look at this, I see a big head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder, starting to fade back on down. Best entry on this would be sub $60. Sub $60 for the dip buy and bounce play after this head and shoulders pattern kind of, you know, settles on out a little bit. AVGO, main support 1,198 or 1,200 right around this area. We are seeing a little bit of a fade though. Little bit of a fade over on AVGO, slowly dropping. Best area for a dip buy down low, do puts up high right around 1,300. Apple has earnings tonight. Apple is a play, as I said before, I would never bet against Apple. I really wouldn't. I mean, Apple's the poster boy of the stock market. It's an amazing company. Does that mean they're always going to have good earnings? No. And if I honestly had to take a guess, I think after coming out with those headsets that no one bought, I probably don't think they're going to have a lot of good earnings tonight. But the thing is, it's just very tough to ever go against Apple because Apple is just such a consistent billion, trillion-dollar company now. So, that's kind of what makes it so tough. Intel. They are definitely one of the top people that are working on quantum computing. That could be something that's coming up next. So do I like it? Intel for the future right now, I wouldn't even be mad if anyone said, oh, I'm looking for a dip buy now. It's all the way down towards $30, almost gave back about 25% of the company. So it is great dip buy opportunities if you're really liking it. GEV at this time. GEV. Taking a look at this, a very new company, as we could see, came out in April, does have a new higher low pattern. Can't give you much information on a company I don't know, and then B, on top of that, a company that is brand new within the last month. The only thing you can say is hold the uptrend. Hold above 150, let this thing keep on climbing. GEV, though, looks very solid. To go from 120 up to 150, slow and steady, building its gains on up, not too bad whatsoever, right? AMC. AMC, unfortunately, just not there for me. Unfortunately, not a play that I would say go after and go get. It's done, guys. It was a trend. It was awesome. It was fun, but it's over. No, Dak, they got to squeeze out the shorts. They got to squeeze the shorts still. Guys, maybe sometime down the road. I don't know, but I just really wouldn't just be sitting your money over there for no reason. CVNA had the best earnings it ever had. Honestly, I see this falling the next 2 days before working itself on up. It had an amazing earnings, but that's also why it had a $30 gap up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we move sideways with a little bit of a fade back down towards around 110 by the end of the day or by again tomorrow. So just be careful on that if you guys are interested over on that play. DraftKings. I think it's DKFT, I want to say. DraftKings, DRFD, something like that. DraftKings has earnings tonight. I'll definitely watch them. Sports betting is getting more and more and more popular, I feel like, every single year. But still, I feel like DraftKings really hasn't still taken on off. What's the ticker to DraftKings? I can't find the ticker. I'm kind of blanking out right now. DKNG. Thank you. DKNG right here. DraftKings trying to set itself on up. We'll see if DraftKings actually has been building up more. Yeah, and I do feel like, sports betting, it's not a good thing, but I feel like sports betting is definitely a lot more popular, especially more states allowing it. DraftKings can make a lot more money. So am I opposed to DraftKings? No. Do I think it's going to spike up to $80 tonight? No. But, I do think it is getting more popular as time goes by. So I do think that is, extremely important here, team. All right, cool beans. Guys, all cool stuff right here. Let me just get a couple more. CRM at this moment. CRM, awesome work. This one, a couple of double tops right here. So you basically have double top, 310, getting a little pullback. Main support back down towards around 265, kind of where it's at. You guys can see this old platform over here. Old top, nice platform. So, and last one I want to do, MARA. MARA, doesn't this just follow Bitcoin in a way? So I honestly think there's better ways than MARA to follow Bitcoin. You have all these Bitcoin ETFs. I would rather just play a Bitcoin ETF than MARA. MARA, I really don't see too much going on over on that play right here. What I do want to do at this moment, something I did 2 weeks ago, is I do want to open up anyone that's over on TikTok. If you guys have a microphone or obviously your phone, I did just open on up if you guys would like to join in on today's live stream and just be able to ask a question, or on top of that, tell me how your day went today. So I did just open on up. You guys can actually request to join at this moment over on TikTok. And we love basically hearing from traders and your trading experience and what you did today and what you liked today. If you have any questions. So basically, if you guys do want to join, I did just open up a request that you guys can go ahead and do that if you guys are interested on that. So that we'll be able to turn that on up for everyone to be able to hear and be all set, ready to go. Deck, what do you think about Tesla? Couple people again, asking about Tesla here. Tesla, I think Tesla is going to have probably about a year-long slull, like a year-long little slump. Then once Elon Musk starts coming on out with it's true self-driving cars, and it's actually produced. Like right now they have self-driving, but is it really self-driving? It's basically like setting it on cruise control. You got to touch the wheel every 3 seconds or whatever it is. Touch the wheel every 3 seconds. You got to like, it's not really that legitimate yet. We're talking about you could sit in the back seat. There's no actual driver, and it takes you to where you want to go. I do feel like Elon's going to be the first person to actually produce that like fully. Like you can be in a parking lot after a Jets game. You can say, take me home. You can take a nap, fall asleep. You've been drinking, whatever it may have been. And now guess what? You wake up when you're home. Guys, you will always have the option to drive your own car. But I will say, there will be many times in the future that if self-driving cars were safe, I would use them a ton. Guys, guess what? If I, again, had work, if I'm saying, oh man, I got so much work to do. Hey, take me to this hotel in New York City. Boink. And I could just sit in the passenger seat and I could just, again, get my work done on my phone, on my computer. I could take a nap. Hey, guess what? That's amazing. Guess what also happens, which is great with self-automobiles? Self-automobiles, they follow the laws. They don't speed. They don't run through stoplights. They don't go through stop signs. They're not drunk driving. There's going to be limited amount of accidents, limited amount of fatalities, limited amount of people going to hospitals. That's great. If we can eliminate human error, that's fantastic. So, that's something that, I think is going to be very big. So Tesla went so big in 2021 because they were the first to produce electric vehicles. I think in about 2024, they're going to be 2025, they're going to be the first ones to produce, fully self-driving cars. So that's definitely something I want to see coming on up here in the future. I'm sure many fall asleep at Jets games. Okay. Calm down here. Hey, I'm not even focused on the Jets right now, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we're focused on right here? We're focused on, as you guys know, Rangers time. Rangers. That's what we got next. New York Rangers. When are the playoffs? Not when are the playoffs. When are the next games? I don't know when the Rangers play the Canes next. Is that like tonight? Is that tomorrow? I think it's tonight. Is that tonight? Are the Rangers playing the Canes tonight? So they're playing them soon. And it's also great, the watch parties. I'm going to New York City, Bryant Park, watch party, big screen, a whole bunch of like tents set on up. You can chill, relax, be around 100 other, fans. That's a lot of fun. Also, little heads on up here, traders. Should we try this together right now? Should we try this together right now? I actually just got, a brand new demo from our new live stream coming. So let's see here, team. So here's a brand new live stream. And let's see how this looks. You guys tell me, should we move this? Right? Should we move the entire live stream to this? So hold on a second. I want to make sure that we're all set. Because I know this has been giving us some issues here and there. So they just sent me a demo here. So let's see what this is like. If you guys want to tune in, and you guys can let me know how it goes. All right, check this thing on out. Check this thing on out right here. All right, I think we're good here. I'll click their name. All right, test it out. Here's a demo. Click that link right there. Click that link right there. Let me know if you guys hear me, how legit that thing is right there. Just posted a link. I'll post that link even over on YouTube for you guys as well. How does this look? New demo over on, testing some things on out at this moment. I can probably also turn on, oh, I can't use one of my cameras right here because I'm using all the cameras. So you guys can't see me right now, but you guys should be able to hear me, should be able to see my screen, and it also should have 0 lag at this time. So if you guys want to turn off the YouTube here for a second, take a look over on that, and we're going to probably incorporate that. Is that all good? You know, 0 lag. I'll even bring up the clock here so you guys can see, make sure everything is 100% legit and good to go. But if it's, you know, this easy, this simple, we might, again, you know, switch on over and, you know, be using this for every single person. So we will, again, check it on out. Let me, also the mic may not be there right there. But we're gonna check it on out. Make sure everything's all good. A lot of cool things over on this platform. A lot of cool things that we could be looking at. A lot of cool things that we can be doing. All right, so yeah, I just have to get the mic all set. But you guys should be able to see it's all in real time, though. Everything should be all in real time. Everything should be all set, ready to go right there. Awesome. Very cool stuff. Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad you guys like that. I'm glad that you guys, you know, see that at this moment. I'm going to stop, you know, recording my screen, though, at this time. Basically end this. And we'll be all ready to rock. All right. Cool. Love that. So guys, we're gonna be probably incorporating that over into TradeCaster for now on, so there is no lag. There is, you know, everything's crispy clear. I just exited out of it, so there's no one presenting at this moment. So it's completely exit on out. But how did you guys like that? Crispy clear, no lag, everything's all good. Gonna be better than YouTube. So I think we're probably gonna switch over to that at all, or we're gonna switch on over to that. Just want to do a quick little test right there. Cool, I like that, guys. We just want to keep on stepping on up. And no, we're not going to be using that chat whatsoever. So we're not going to be using that chat. We're going to get rid of their chat. We're only going to be using our TradeCaster chat. But we're going to have the stream, of course. So it's just the stream. We're not going to be using that chat at all. We have our chat over on TradeCaster. Mamba Trader today, $2,100 on the day. Let's go, Mamba! Let's go! So Mamba today, net P&L, $2,100. $2,100. Shout out to you, Mamba. That is absolutely great, absolutely awesome. Spy, cool. Team, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you so much for all the traders who have joined us on this day. Let's take a little breather right here. Let's get ready for lunch hours. Let's see what comes on up. And then if there is any sort of action this afternoon, we will be jumping back on the mic. If there is no action this afternoon, you know, we will see what's going to be coming on up here next. So all we're trying to do is stay smart every single day, use our head. We've had 3 amazing trades so far today, and I hope you guys crushed it. I hope you guys made a lot of money, and I hope you guys are feeling great. If you guys want to join me every single day live, I am live over on tradecaster.com. Thank you so much for everyone that thank you so much for everyone who left those amazing reviews. I really do appreciate that. And other than that, make sure you guys are getting excited and getting ready for shorting coming on up. This is going to be an absolute blast and an absolute ball. I am so pumped, so ready to rock and roll, so ready to just see what's going to be coming on up here next and really be able to make this money. Traders, as always, thank you for everyone over on TikTok. Thank you for everyone over on YouTube. Thank you for everyone that's over on Discord. Thank you for everyone that's over on TradeCaster. We are an amazing team, an amazing family, but just a heads on up, we're all going to be on TradeCaster coming on up next month, or excuse me, in the next 2 weeks for our shorting strategies. So get prepared, get ready to rock, and I'll see you guys then. Traders, help me wrap this one on up. You guys know the drill. I love working with you guys day in and day out. Thank you so much, traders. Let's do it. Let's get after it, and let's turn on some tunes that we are going to get fired on up to see what this afternoon is going to bring us. Let's do it, team, in 3, 2, 1. Ah, woo! Oh,
Ya está
baby.
cerrada con 3
Baby.
candados.
I love Tradecaster.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Just a friendly reminder. Over the past 12 months, how much money did you make day trading using your strategy?
551,000.
That kind of money, it's like you know what you're doing.
Sean knows his stuff.
So this is exactly how I did it.
Perfect.
I want everyone to go trade.
Go! Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Anything else?
It wasn't pleasant. That was during lunch hours.
Take some pictures.
Now we're up $1,200!
We got some action right here.
$2,000, $760.
If I tell you how I was able to do this, go out and make that money, make a killing.
Can we start getting ourselves in the green somehow? Get it, people! A bot sell man making HUDI $1,000. Ollie with a $327 trade. Boom, guys. $989 profit. $2,600.
I have never wished on hope, didn't need a telescope to see where I am going. I have never been the one trying hard to hold my tongue. It's my stereo. One day I'll stand with a crown on my head like a god. Yeah, like a god. With every step, no, I won't second guess what I want.
I'm gonna teach you step by step on how I was able to make just under $9,000 day trading options in the stock market. Now, before we even get into this video, I wanna post my P&L from eTrade.com just to show my transparency. I wanna be very honest and blunt in this video because I wanna give you a real understanding on what it takes to make $9,000 in a day trading options. If you guys would like to, you can skip to the end of this video where you can see the entire live trade. I do have everything timestamped in the description below so you guys can skip right to it. But I really would like to teach you on how I was able to perform this trade so that you can apply what you learned in this video to your own trading and hopefully be able to see similar results. And I really think the best way to be able to teach this is to break this video down into 3 different sections. First is going to be account size, second is going to be emotion, and third but not least is going to be the chart preparation and really just chart analysis. So let's start with the most important point on how I was able to make this $9,000, which is account size. Account size is something I think a lot of new traders overlook and they don't really understand how important it is. We all know the saying, it takes money to make money, and stock trading is no different. Now, I'm not here to sell you some sort of unrealistic dream of investing $100 in your Robinhood account and waking up with a $10,000 return. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen very often. So on average, I usually trade anywhere between $60,000 to $70,000, and I try to make somewhere between a 6 to 8% return. That is going to be my average trading day, and on my great trading days, I might get somewhere above 15%. So let's break this down into a very easy scenario. Imagine if you had a $100 account. Well, with an 8% return, you're looking at around an $8 profit. Same exact thing if we had a great day. A 15% return is going to be a $15 profit. Now, let's bump it up a notch. If you had a $10,000 account, you're looking for about an $800 return, or on your great days, somewhere around $1,500. And as we continue to progress all the way on up, I look for anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000 per day, and on a great day, I might be able to bring in somewhere between $8,000 to $9,000. Now, results are going to vary depending on the strategy that you use, but throughout my records and throughout my stats, I look for somewhere between that 5% up towards around 15% return per day. So what's the most important thing to understand here? Well, I think a lot of new traders focus on their dollar value and not their percentage value, which is where they start finding discouragement. I could understand if you watched me trade and I made $4,000 on a day and you said, well, Sean, I only made $1,000 on a day, but you only have a $2,000 account. That means you actually traded 40% better than I made because I was only able to make around a 8% return while you were able to make a 40% return. This is what you need to take into account. Start thinking about your returns every single day based off percentage value, not dollar amount. So a great day, 15% return. A normal day, we want somewhere around 5 to 7%. And of course, any sort of day, any green is good. Think about stop losses, always have them around 3% because we always want to double every win with one loss. So the reason why I wanted to go into point number 1 so much about account value is because I feel like so many people don't realize this, especially with today and the power of social media. I mean, I could go on Instagram, go on TikTok and see a ton of ads where it's a whole bunch of kids driving these supercars, traveling the world, and you get lost up in expectations. You get lost in what you expect is going to happen within a day. And it doesn't matter if it's trading, if it's business, or it's fitness. Everything is going to take time that's going to have productive results. Nothing rewarding happens overnight. Everything rewarding happens throughout time. A very simple way to be able to grasp this is let's think about day trading as if we had to get a degree. Go to a university just for day trading. Well, when I think of very high respected jobs, I think of a lawyer, I think of a surgeon or a doctor, I think of an engineer. Now, what do all of those have in common? Well, they usually need at least a 4-year degree, and most of them are going to need an 8-year degree. And you can kind of figure out that usually the jobs that require more schooling are going to be the jobs that you get the highest paid salary. Now, I don't know where it gets lost throughout social media, but when I think of stock trading and day trading and working on Wall Street, that's almost as high as you can get. That is higher to me than being a surgeon or being a lawyer. You are working the financial markets of the United States, and to me, that's the best job in the world. But so many traders get caught up in the fact that since we have mobile broker accessibility and since we could just deposit money at the end of our fingertips, we want to start stock trading right away. And that is going to be a very big problem. You must understand that I've been trading now for almost 10 years, and I can look back and every single year, I can say, wow, I'm a much better trader this year. If I traded my first year of real money, I would have blown everything. Then year 2, I look back at year 1 and I say, wow, that was absolutely awful. Thank goodness I'm on year 3. Then I look back on year 3 when I'm on year 4 and I say, wow, I can't believe I even had any success. I didn't know what I was doing. And every single year I learn more. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to take you 4 to 8 years to be successful in the stock market, but what I want you to really be able to grasp is you are going to be much better than your prior year. So there's nothing wrong with staying small or paper trading. I paper traded for the first 12 months of my stock trading career, and I say one of the biggest blessings in my life is that I was a typical poor college kid. I only had a small amount of funds going into each year of college, and I wanted to become a stock trader, but had no choice but to paper trade. And if I had real money right away, I probably would have put my money in and lost it all. But since I was a broke college kid, I was forced to paper trade. And my first month, I lost everything. Second month, I lost everything. 6th month, I lost everything. 1 year, I lost everything. And then finally, it started clicking. We all want results, but results don't happen overnight. Fitness, results don't happen overnight. Business, results don't happen overnight. I want everyone watching this to be a successful stock trader, but remember, you are a freshman starting right now. Make sure you get to junior year before you truly start gaining a grasp on how to be able to trade the stock market. So the second point I want to go over is patience. Warren Buffett has one of the best quotes of all time where he says the stock market is a device to move money from the impatient to the patient. So what does Warren mean by this? Well, essentially patience is going to be extremely tough to control because it comes down to your emotions. And it's very difficult to mix emotions and greed. 2 things that do not go well with each other at all. It's like oil and vinegar. But how does emotions apply to our stock trading, or how does patience apply to our stock trading? Let's think about this into 2 different sections. Number 1 is going to be our entry, getting into the play that we want to invest into. Now, as you'll see in my live trade, I wait for the entry that I believe is going to be the best. A lot of times we fall into what we call FOMO in stock trading, which is the fear of missing out. In stock trading, you can jump into a play whenever you would like. So it's difficult to wait for that exact price point because maybe you missed that price point by a couple of cents, maybe by a couple of dollars, and you were correct the entire time. After being able to go through this experience a few times, you start jumping in a little bit early just to find out if you waited, you would have had a much better entry. Now, the second part of patience is actually allowing your play to develop and letting your profits grow. I see a lot of new traders take profits quickly, and I'm never going to knock someone for taking green, but I think a bad habit that a lot of people develop is they take profits so quickly because they don't want to lose it. But when they have their losing trades, they hold it so much longer, hoping that they go into the green. So really, after a few months of trading, you realize that you have very small wins and you have very large losses, and it's the exact opposite of what we should have. So how can we hold longer? Well, hold longer really all comes down to confidence. You did your research, you studied the chart, you studied the stock, you know this investment. Allow the play to be able to produce profit for you. If you are locking in profits extremely quickly, that's because you don't trust your plan, or you just don't trust your trading yet, and you feel like maybe you're just getting lucky off a gamble. This is not gambling. And if you treat the stock market as a casino, don't be the tourist, be the house. And the third and final point that I want to be going over is understanding chart reading and technical analysis. Something I say every single day on the live stream is great stock traders don't buy at highs and they don't sell at lows. We must understand that great stock traders actually buy when there's reversals. If that reversal is up or down. If a stock is moving up extremely high, we don't want to chase the top and buy in when everyone's about to sell on us. We want to be able to get put contracts or shorts at the top and figure out where reversals are going to happen. Same exact thing when stocks are falling. We don't want to do put contracts or shorts when the stock has already dropped. We want to start looking for calls and where reversals are going to happen. So that's going to be the core foundation of my strategy, being able to understand and see when is a stock going to reverse. And if I could be able to figure out when these reversals happen, I'm going to be able to win nearly every single time. One of the best ways to be able to figure this out is look at past chart history pattern. So let's look at the live stream right now. Let's break this on down and let me walk you through this live trade on what I was looking for. So here we are taking a look at the S&P 500, and I want to teach you the exact strategy that I used on Friday to be able to make just underneath $9,000. I was actually only off by 7 cents that I said the high is going to be 416.90, and actually the high comes up to 416.97. So what did I see in this pattern? What did I see in this chart? Well, I think the most important thing to begin with is when we are looking at where stocks are going to reverse, be in a larger time frame. When we take a look over in a 1 minute time frame, it's so easy to get caught up on what's the high, what's not a high, looking at different trend lines. And I feel like trading in a 1 minute time frame after maybe the first 10 minutes of the day is just asking for trouble. When I'm really looking to see where's the stock truly going to reverse, I always take a step back, because when you take a step back, you're just going to be able to get a much better view. For instance, if you want a better situation or be able to understand this in a way that you guys can relate to, take your cell phone right now and open up your text messages and try to read a text message this close to your face. It's very difficult to read. And that's because you're so close to it, you can't make out the lettering. Now, same exact thing if you want to take a very, very far step away. If you take too far step away, you're not going to be able to read it either, because the text is so little, you won't be able to figure out what's going on. So it's really about finding that happy medium. And I don't go any farther back than a daily chart. I don't need to look at a monthly or multi-year chart. I stick with a 5-minute chart and I move myself back as needed. So let's imagine it is Friday. We can say to ourselves, it's Friday, February 3rd at this moment, and we're trying to figure out where this high is going to be. Now, we know this high did come out to the price of 416.97. And how I started looking at this play is, first things first, I always look at pre-market. And when I take a look at pre-market, I can see that we do have these long upper shadows. These long upper shadows indicated that we got up towards around this 416.90 mark, and then we started seeing a reversal. So that stuck in my head right away. And then I started moving back a little bit. And I said, on Thursday, we closed right underneath this 416.90 mark. It closed right around 416.75. Then I can also see we have a lot of resistance right around 416.90, and we also hit 416.90, and we also hit 416.90. So if I put this in a red line here, and I start saying to myself, every time we come up towards around 416.90, it shows that we usually have some sort of reversal. So hey, even if I'm wrong and this is not the exact high of the day, I can still expect that there's probably going to be hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of other investors out in the world that are probably going to be saying to themselves, hey, let me lock in profits around 416.90 because other traders have locked in 416.90. But let's get more confirmation on this. And what's the best way to get more confirmation is to go back a bigger time frame. Now you'll notice when I go back in a bigger time frame, there's nothing up towards around 416.90. So we have to keep going back until we at least have the trend somewhere around this area. And we actually have to go all the way back down to the daily chart. But what you guys will see on the daily chart actually may shock you. And this is how simple sometimes stock trading can be. So if I take a look at this chart, and I'm just taking a screenshot so I can draw on this for you. We can see that we come up to this red line, and that was from the previous day. We hit 416.90 and we started reversing back on down. And then we look at these charts and we could see we actually gapped down once to 416.90. We actually again bounce off 416.90. We have top resistance at 416.90. Let's actually go back through the chart here. And you can realize that every time we come up around this area right here, 416.90 seems to hold up. And we also have some bouncing here. And very odd, as we were in last year, you could see 416.90, 416.90. If we want to keep even going farther back in the chart, we can see that 416.90 has some sort of power behind it. So let's actually scroll back here and notice we got bounce plays right around 416.75, 416.90. So you're telling me that other investors throughout Wall Street aren't realizing this either? You're telling me that every time we either bounce off this area, and this is what I talked about before, reversals. We don't need to figure out what's the best play in the stock market. We don't need to be able to figure out what's the best investment out there. All we need to be able to figure out is what stock is currently moving. In this case, the S&P 500, the ETF was very hot this day. And I want to be able to figure out where are we going to see this reversal. And we have a bounce, we have a bounce, we have a bounce. We have top resistance, resistance. We have reversal, reversal. And I'm saying to myself, hey, we've just had a beautiful run up over the past month and a half. Don't you think it would make sense that investors are probably going to be locking in some sort of profits because they're scared of the past chart history pattern? Past chart history pattern has a huge emotional and psychological factor behind it. So if we ever start breaking, let's say in this upcoming week, we break 416.90. I'm gonna start saying to myself, where would a reversal happen? Now, I want you guys to pause the video here for a second and try to figure out, take a look over on the S&P 500 and say where by looking at the daily chart looks like the area that is going to have the most common sense where other traders are going to get fearful. So, what do you guys got? To me, it looks like I'm gonna start off with this top point right here and I'm going to adjust. And let's put this into a dark blue and let's just see this dark blue area. Would this be an area where traders would reverse at? Now, taking a look at the past, I'm actually going to adjust this slightly and I'm going to start getting my area. And my area to me at this moment is going to be somewhere right around this 429 mark. So if we start getting a bull rally over the next week or over the next 2 weeks, let's take a look at where other traders may start taking some sort of profits. Or if I am a call trader, let's say I'm betting that the market's going to move on up, where would I want to start taking my gains? And if I take a look right here, I could see, okay, we come on up towards around this 429 mark, we reverse there. And I can also see we reversed here. And I can also see we reversed here. I can also see we reversed here. I can also see we bounced here. I can also see that we bounced here. And I can also see that we bounced back here. So as we come on up towards this possible new area, wouldn't it make sense that doing some sort of put contract around 429 would be a great area to start jumping in on this play? Think about it as psychology. Think about it as emotion. Because when we think about why stocks go up and why stocks go down, it's when the majority of people, the majority of investors either buy or sell. And I have a very, very, very strong feeling that somewhere around this 429 mark, people are going to start taking some profits. Could it go higher? Absolutely. The stock market can always go higher. But for this day, for this time, I should be able to make a nice profit off that 429 mark. So let's take this on over towards my live trade. And I want you guys to think about everything we've talked about so far. So let's think about patience. Let's think about the chart patterns. And let's also think about the account size on how much money I'm investing and thinking about a percentage return on how much money I'm getting out of it. And if you guys do want to see me live trade every single day, I do live stream my trading over on tradecaster.com. I dropped a free 7-day pass in the description below, so make sure you guys go check that on out. There's no payment needed up front. Check it out your first free 7 days and see if it's for you. If you guys love it, hey, stick with it. And if you guys don't like it, well, you guys always have my free YouTube content. All I want is the best for you guys. Go back to this 5-minute time frame. We still got a nice little room to rip and run. Deck, how high we gonna go up to? I'm calling the high of the day. 416.90 is what I'm calling here, team. Put contracts, getting ready, going on down for the put side. Taking a look, 15-minute time frame. We got top, top, top. That's a little bit higher. That's slightly higher. 416.90, team. 416.90. Pull the trigger. That's where I want to get in. We got up towards a high, though, so far of right here, 416.54. I want to see a little break of that. See how we have a little bit more room to run? We are coming on up towards this red line. This red line at this moment moment. Shows a nice top, 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 shows a nice top. And I think it could be a very perfect top area in that, 1490 mark. So 1490 is my goal. I know we have not hit that yet, but I want to see if it can get one more last high of the day. Top, 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 top. Don't come down just yet. Don't do it. We got to see one more pop. One more pop, S&P 500. I know you got it in you. I know it's fourth quarter. I know it's tough out there. Everyone's putting all the pressure on you, S&P 500. Everyone wants you to be something that you don't think you can be. But I think you can be 416.90. I think you can be that person. But you got to believe, S&P. You got to believe in yourself to know that you will be 416.90. And then probably at 416.90, that's when you can run out of gas. And that's when you can let everyone tell you what to be. But not until then. Not until then. You work too hard for this. 416.90 is what we need out of you. And damn it, that's what I'm going to get from you. S&P 500 team starting to fall back on down, starting to get a little bit weaker here. Starting to crack, starting to drop. We did get that pop on up towards, again, that 416.70-ish mark. I will tell everyone this, though. If we ever get back up towards 416.90, I will jump on in. So I don't know if that will happen today, but if it does happen today, I will jump on in. All right, team, that's where I'm at.
A few moments later.
Little heads up for you, every single person. We just hit our area, traders. Guys, we just hit our area. I just jumped in. 416.90. I just jumped in. I'm currently up $4,700. So just a little heads up. Want to show everyone my P&L. I just got in as we came on up. 11:38. Look what time it is right now. It's 11:39 right now. So I just jumped in a minute ago. Currently up $4,600 at this moment. From this trend line crack at the price, what did I say? 416.90 is what I wanted. Right now, we're currently up $6,000 almost on this trade. I have 30 contracts, $6,200 looking for this reversal. What area did I say I wanted? What area did I say I wanted, ladies and gentlemen? So you could see the S&P 500 get that perfect reversal at the area that we called on out. The area that we believed the market was going to drop and fade and fall and get this weakness. I do think that we are topping on out. I do think that the S&P 500 is, right next to a high area. When we take a look over on this play, we just have a lot of tops up towards this region. We have a lot of tops right around that 417 area. Top, 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 top. And then, of course, I think a lot of tops where we could start fading and start dropping and start getting weaker. So I'm telling every single person this, I am going to be holding this for a while. Deck, when would you get out of this play? I'm going to get out of this play if it ever comes back up to 417. Unless it comes back up to 417, I am not going to get out of this play. Okay? So I am going to hold tight. If you're saying, Deck, you're going to lock in your profits right here, you're going to lock in again your $2,000 or so, I am not going to. I am going to hold this a little bit longer. I'm going to basically, again, have my stop loss up next to my entry, which is going to be a lot closer, up near around like 416.50 or so. I did not get filled right at the tippity top. I started getting filled the moment that the trend line started cracking, but it's great to see that this trend line is already getting weaker. We got a nice dump all the way down towards 415. I know it's getting a bounce play back on up, but unless we hit a new high of the day, I'm going to keep on holding right now. Currently, again, on that trend line, we did get a nice drop, but I am expecting it to be able to fall back on down and crack even more. I will, again, leave my P&L box on the bottom right-hand corner so everyone can continue to watch that. Right now, we got a nice little drop, currently coming back on up around $3,700 in gains at this moment. I am expecting this one to fall back on down underneath 415 today, so it should be roughly, I'm thinking like a $10,000 day. And with my expiration date all the way out until next Wednesday, I think this could be even bigger. So if it comes down to my, to my target, I'm definitely going to lock in my gains and take my profits, but I still think we can fall on down towards roughly this orange line. This is the goal, to be able to lock some things on up underneath the price of 415. Should be roughly a $10,000 day. Let this bad boy dump. Let it crack. Oh, guys, here we go. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. We're already up. We're already up right here. 415 starting to get a little bit of a drop. Guys, we're already coming on down towards our area. We're up $7,000 at this moment. SPX, we are seeing the stock, get that nice big drop here. $7,000 in profit. Should we just take a $7,000 profit, team, or we let it go even more? Here it is, starting to get a little bit of a fade. 7,000. Watch SPY, team. Let this thing dump on it. Let it dump, baby. Look at that red candle. Right now, we're up 9,000. Now we're up 9,000, baby. I'm going to lock in half. Lock in half right here. Now we're up $9,000 at this moment. Just locked in half. We're going to see if it can keep on going underneath 415. Keep going underneath. We already locked in $4,500. Now we're locking in the other half, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Welcome to the show today, people. Welcome to the show today. Welcome. Oh, baby. Nice job. Just locked in $9,000 in profit. Woo! That's how we do it today, team. That's how we do it.
Champagne